Hi all. Happy Friday to everyone. Good to see you all. I'm having a little white wine again. Shocker. Predictable, huh? How are you? Maybe let some people roll in first. As usual, Dirk will be with me in good time. Not because he's at work racing home like he was last week, but because, I don't know. I like to get a few things out myself undisturbed, because God knows, Dirk, one of his skills is interrupting, changing the subject, etc., etc. But we love him for that, right? Otherwise, the conversation can tend to come to a standstill very quickly. One thing I want to get straight to, I want to catch any of you who were commenting recently. There weren't many of you. Most of you get it. Most of you dig it. It's fine. But some I've noticed on the streams have been saying things like, they'll see the length of the stream. They won't catch it live. So they'll see it the following day and they'll see 2 hours 37. How am I expected to watch 2 hours 37? Who do you think you are? We don't have time. I know a lot of you guys are still learning, the interwebs and how it all works. But this is a live stream, guys. That's how it works. Some shows are different to other shows. This is not the same as a regular episode from the Timeless Watch channel, which are normally somewhere between 10 and 20 minutes, I think. Maybe a little longer if it's one of my big extravaganza videos. So, that's what it's, some people are complaining. Can you make them shorter? What? It's a live stream. Now, it is a particularly long live stream. Other channels do an hour and 15. But in proportion, you think, it's right. Paul Thorpe, like normally his videos are 6 or 7 minutes long at maximum. And then he'll do a live once a week, which is a chat with him and a few other people, sometimes myself. That goes on for an hour. Y'all complaining to him too? I don't think so. This is how live streams work. So for those of you saying, how can you expect me to watch 2 hours and 30 minutes or whatever it is, depending on how good the show is, it'll just keep going. That's you watch as much as you want. Watch the first 10 minutes, turn it off, skip through it till you find we're talking about a subject you like. It's like walking into a restaurant and looking at the menu of all the different food and going, how am I expected to eat all this food? No, you just order one thing. It's like going into a cake shop and they have 500 cakes under the glass display. And you're like, you don't seriously expect me to eat all this cake, do you? I'm making these funny voices because this is how I imagine these people when I read their comments. I know most of you get it. So that's just for a certain small percentage who do not know what a live stream is. It's like talk radio. It just goes on and on. If you catch it live, it can be a lot of fun. So there's that. Then there's the difference between lewd comments or unsavory comments and critique. So I'm one of the, a lot of these YouTubers are very diplomatic, they're very nice. Oh, sorry you didn't like the show, or sorry you disagree about the watch or whatever. Sometimes I can be less than nice. I'm aware of that. But only to comments that are just stupid, just plain old stupid. And perhaps just like an attack on character or something like that. I'm going to delete one right now because I don't want to attract attention to the fella, but I got into it earlier with some guy. He was talking about, let me catch the comment and just get rid of him. because I don't want to give him a platform, but about the Speedmaster, the being sharp, the sharp edges thing. It's been going on for a while. There's one thing to say, well, I bought one and my edges aren't sharp. It seems fine. Cool. Okay. You got a different one then. That's great. Or, I think you're blowing this thing out of proportion. That's, yes, they're very sharp edges, but it really doesn't make a difference for the user. Okay, cool. We agree to disagree. But when I get comments like, man up, pussy, you're so woke, or some of this stuff, I'm just like, oh my, how did you get in? How did you slip through the cracks of the Timeless Watch channel? I don't have a lot of patience for that sort of nonsense. I'm critiquing a watch that I think isn't finished correctly. A $7,000 watch. I want the damn thing finished properly. S'il vous plaît. But instead I get, oh, you're not a man because you can't handle a sharp edge. When it's nothing to do with being a man. For crying out loud. That gang, that milieu, those guys out there, I've no time for them. So I kind of just shut them down pretty hard. Man up. And with the woke thing, look, I don't like the woke crowd either. They annoy me too. It's like, guys, can't you take a joke? But there's only one crowd that's worse than the woke crowd. That's the anti-woke crowd. The guys walking around going, oh, no, they're so woke. And it's just like they're so regressive. They're just they're worse. And I don't know how some of them slipped through the cracks here on the Timeless Watch channel. I said it before when I was talking, it was ages ago. I was talking about the Timepiece Gentleman thing. I have a firewall, a probability filter, and it's Bach. It's the music you just heard at the start of this live stream. It's that. So that all the dummies just go, well, classical music, I'm bored, and they go away. It's like putting a high-pitched noise into a room so all the animals disappear, or something like that. The rest of you go, oh yeah, nice, Bach, cool. Breguet, shots of maps and old watches, cool, I'm into it. Now I've invited the crowd I like, the crowd I want to watch. Want to watch my channel. Lots of people rolling in here. Troy McMahon, you beat everyone to it. Look at that. £5. Cheers, man. I'm also now the proud owner. Oh, did you say something earlier? Sorry, man. Did I miss that? Looks like you're adding to a comment. Proud owner of a 116710 LN, the 2009, because they came out in late 2007. That was the first of the ceramic bezeled watches, if I'm not mistaken. And a great one. Inner and outer box. Here's an interesting discussion. Does it annoy you when you don't get the outer box? Or the outer box, the white sleeve? Guarantee card, booklet, etc. all came with her too. Thank you once again. Man, if I helped you make that decision, I'm glad. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your new watch. That's a keeper, by the way. Have you seen those on the market? Not that it's all about the market and the secondary price, but those watches are flying up. I think it's something to do with the rumors that they're going to bring it back, but with Jubilee bracelet. So therefore the oyster then becomes more lusted after, Congrats, man. Gorgeous watch. And you've got 2009 versions, so that means it has green lume, which matches the green writing and the green GMT hand. In a way, it's kind of cooler than the Chromolite. Kieran Walsh, $5. Thanks, Kieran. No question. Fair enough. Thank you, man. So Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to get those other points out of the way, just to clear a few things up and save myself going in and insulting by hand every dude coming in and making those comments. I don't have a whole lot of time for the brouhaha chest beating crowd. I just don't. I'm sorry, lads. Maybe some of you guys are those guys. I don't know. Ticking time. I missed you. Should be longer. Best live stream. Thanks, man. See, this is the thing. Some people like a nice long live stream. They're in for the evening. There's nothing on TV. They finished all the programs they like on Netflix. They have a bottle of wine. Do the math. It's just one more step to staring at my ugly face all night and listen to me going on about watches, politics, whatever else happens to come up. Thank you, ticking time. Once again, the super chats are not required, guys, but are a really good way of filtering out one question from another. I certainly don't feel like skipping past anyone's question. If they put their money where their mouth is, I feel like I definitely should answer it. It's like the Patreon guys. Out of all the questions I get, I try to answer their questions first because really, show some respect. O'Malley, come on. Marcus, you're up late, Marcus. It's Norway, right? Same time as Italy here. The fangs of the air snake aren't even that sharp. Man, be a man and wear your air snake. Oh boy. I feel like if someone makes a watch, if there's any micro brands out there who are trying experiments, make a goddamn air snake and cash in on the popularity of it right now. You'll sell hundreds of them. Are we discussing watches and wonders this evening? No. Do you want to bow out? I'm sorry, man. I will be talking about Rolex predictions, which I kind of skipped past too briefly last week. I got caught up in other stuff. Really, what I should do is do the show, look at what was discussed, and then put that in the title. But I tried to do it the other way. And in the end, Rolex discussion, the predictions didn't really happen. I'll do more of that now. The question is coming up now that thank you, Plastic O'Toole, $1. Thank you, man. What will happen? No one really knows. Let's face it. No one knows. When we know for sure, like 2 minutes to midnight, that's when all the stuff comes out, right? Which means something else too, by the way. Okay, half an hour, 11:30. That's when real leaks come out. Before the day of, comes out at midnight or whatever. European time. That's when we'll find out when what they're bringing out and what they're changing, what they're axing, if they're axing anything, which isn't guaranteed. I was watching one channel earlier who was mentioning that it's a very good chance they're not going to do much at all. They always underdo it. They really do. Like the Oyster Perpetuals last year with all the funny colors. That was a big deal, and that was a strange move for them to make such changes. But then again, the Oyster Perpetual line was quite weak at the time. Do you remember those days when no one wanted an Oyster Perpetual? How times have changed, but it's not unusual for them to do almost nothing and make slight adjustments. We all would like them to make these a big sea change, right? Make a 41 mil Daytona, make a rose gold Submariner. What are the other ones? A 41 mil Hulk. Discontinue the Air King. Discontinue the Milgauss. But, making that kind of a change through the roster is very on them. Also, I think people make a terrible mistake of thinking, what makes business sense? And I keep repeating, I'm blue in the face repeating myself. They don't think about business. They make so much money. They don't have to care about that. I know that doesn't compute with some of you because you're thinking there's always more money, but remember that scene in Breaking Bad when they get the 80 million off of the white nationalist guys, the far right guys with their machine guns or their rifles. I made that mistake talking about mistaking a machine gun for a rifle because I know nothing about guns, and I'm very proud of that fact. Anyway, that scene where they get all the money off Walter White toward the end, one of the last scenes, I think. Or certainly when Hank gets killed. I'm sorry if I'm doing a spoiler. If you don't already know Breaking Bad, I'm sorry. Like, you should definitely watch it. But they get 80 million bucks. These guys who have no money. And then they're like, well, we should keep Jesse alive because there's always more money to be made. I just didn't believe that. The moment you get 80 million, you're walking. There's no more work to be done then. You're going to be sitting on a beach earning 20%. What's that from? Here we go with the film quotes again. We'll be sitting on the beach earning 20%. Billy 449. Just got my first Speedmaster Professional. Rising Sun. Tokyo 2020. Wow. Great one. Really good. I may as well just go ahead and say, but I think those Speedies are real collectible items and I love them. But I want one. So I don't want to talk about it too much because I know you'll all go buy them and then I won't be able to get one. The Gruen Light Racer is asking, yeah, I've been filming that one. I have to return it to its owner soon. He's being very patient, as is everyone else who's loaned me a watch of late. But yes, I'm going to do a thing on the Gruen. That's going to require a certain artistic input, as you can imagine. I'm going to have to do it all in black and white with all sorts of old jazz standards in the background. But it's coming. Why the Milgauss and the title? Well, I just wanted, Andrea Bianchi said, I just wanted to, I want to talk about, will the Milgauss, what will happen, like if they take it out of the roster, if they take it off the catalog, because it is a bit of an anachronism. It isn't even as anti-magnetic as many other watches that don't even boast anti-magnetism. It's just like a feature that's in there. So it is a bit old hat, isn't it? Some people love it for that reason. But what's going to happen if they take it off or if they dramatically change it? Let's say they go to 50,000 Gauss. Milgauss, by the way, can't speak tonight. By the way, means 1,000 Gauss. That's not very much. Most of these anti-magnetic watches are 15,000, 20,000. Some of them are just amagnetic. Even if they do become magnetized, the parts that matter won't become magnetized, i.e. the hairspring, mainly the hairspring. So maybe they'll turn around and say, okay, now we have a Milgauss that's super powered. It has a silicon hairspring. It has some sort of other thing. We've taken away the Faraday cage and we've put in something else. Maybe they'll up their game. The question, of course, is what will happen then? On the market, I mean, will people still want the old Milgauss? Will it return to normal? Will it become just a kind of a quirky collector's item? The broadest prediction I can make is that some things will change. Something predictable will happen and something unpredictable will happen. That's as far as I can see. That's what happens every year. we'll be looking at something changing. Like, do you remember when they brought out the 41 mil sub? The rumor was that they were going to slim down the sub. They did in a weird roundabout way, didn't they? It became effectively slimmer. In the photos, it looks slimmer, but it's a larger watch in almost every way. In every way. And then, of course, the Oyster Perpetual thing. That was a complete curveball. No one was expecting that. I didn't hear any rumors about that. So I expect something in the predictable, on the predictable side, and then something left to center. Maybe a whole new watch. Do you know what I mean? Something bizarre, if anything. And once again, think of what an artist would be thinking. Think about your favorite band. They bring out a new record. They're exploring themselves. They're on a journey themselves. So it's not about what makes business sense. If they were about that, they would just be selling subs and GMTs and Daytonas. They would have discontinued everything else. They're clearly not about that. Kieran Walsh. What are your opinions or predictions on the JC Biver watch collection Jean-Claude is launching? Unfortunately, I don't have a formed opinion yet. Sorry, man. You've been following that closely? I have not. But thanks for the $5, man. I've had a busy couple of weeks. It's been a long couple of weeks. A lot going on. Lots of stuff all at the same time. Mr. GMT, $2. Good morning, my sexy friend. So you're good morning. That means you're in Australia or New Zealand. New Zealand. I can barely pull up an accent. By the way, what am I wearing? I've got the sapphire sandwich on with the red strap. What do you think, guys? Cool, yeah. Michael Knapp Leather made me this strap. And it's on an Omega deployant, which are some of my favorite deployants. Just nice and simple, rock solid. Isn't that gorgeous? Red works with the Speedy. Moving on. Stuart Gary Keegan. €5. I should say euro, shouldn't I? Anyway, if you were buying your first Rolex today and you had 15K, it would be quite an impressive first Rolex to have. What would you go after? Also played support to Mr. North and Whelan's years back. Really, man? You supported us? What was the name of the band? I probably won't remember even if you tell me, but you know how it is, man. Lots of drunken nights playing, lots of gigs. Be hard to remember. But cool, man. Were you good? I'm sure you were. Were we good? That's the next question. It's not guaranteed. 15K budget. First Rolex. Well, if you're talking about getting on a list and hoping for RRP, 15K. Well, there's plenty of options if you're on the list, but then you could be waiting forever. So who knows? I don't know what your relationship is with your AD, but I guess if it's your first Rolex, then you don't have any relationship at all. Maybe you're looking at the gray market. I would say maybe get on that black GMT, the all black. For 15K, you might get one right now. If you hurry, they've gone up a lot. But the 116710 LN, I think, is a winner. I nearly went into a phrase that we've all heard a lot in the watch world, but I won't do it. Cream Disco, £2. Can the Panda Daytona hit 100K? If it keeps going, if things keep going the way they're going, expect everything to, hit the prices that everyone's wondering about. Question is, will anything affect all of that? Like, will the current war, invasion, takeover, whatever you want to call it, Will that affect the watch world? I thought it might. I thought maybe this is going to affect it. But then I just read today that the Russians, the oligarchs, and everyone else with a little money in Russia, because of everything being shut down and their currency losing its value and so on, are rushing out to buy jewelry, watches, luxury items. Maybe they're getting on planes and flying over here and buying all the watches. I don't know. Which is, of course, going to make them harder to get, even harder. So, this may have made things even more difficult. But yes, I have no reason to assume everything's going to stop randomly. It's hard to predict these things, but I always said that some sort of global crisis could do it. We tried that. That got tried and tested. There was a pretty significant global crisis, and it didn't make any difference. If anything, it made prices go up. Maybe it didn't make them, but it didn't stop them. What conclusion are we to come to? Someone was talking to me today about this, saying that it's not just in watches, it's in cars, it's in fine wine, it's in lots of other things. Turns out we're all loaded. Turns out there's people with money. Lots of people with money out there willing to spend it on luxury goods. Nick Mobayen, £2, $2. Speedy or Tudor Chrono for the 30th birthday. I have both right behind me. Can you see them in the frame? I have one on. Both great watches. The Speedy is more iconic than the Tudor Chrono. I assume you mean the Black Bay Tudor Chrono, this like the Panda or the black version of this one. Kind of hard to get watch at the moment for the past while. What kind of guy are you? Are you big and beefy? Because that's a big and beefy watch. That thing can survive World War III. This thing, well, this is my old one, my 1988 one. This is a delicate piece of art. This won't last 5 minutes in a war zone or in a sports situation. I don't even wash the dishes with this thing on. So it depends what you're... one's for going to space. The other isn't, right? You don't have to worry about water and space. And so on and so forth. Tudors are beefy watches. So go, if you're 30 and you're a big hefty lad. I was watching the rugby match at the weekend, Italy versus Ireland. There's an Irish pub here in Venice. Some of these lads, I don't know what watches they wear, but they better be wearing like big monsters, G-Shocks or something. Because they're probably constantly bumping into things. There's huge burly lads. They can't wear a Speedy. It wouldn't last 5 minutes on a wrist with one of these guys. I don't even mean while they're playing. I mean just walking around in regular life. Like Dobermans or something. Mark Bowman, £5. Hey, Dirk.
Hello, possums.
How's your
crack?
On the lap?
Is it good?
Higher than yours. Turn it up, maybe your input. Maybe I can do it from here. I'll do it from here.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's Mike. Do I do it? Edit Mike set. There you go.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
That's great. Thank you, man. Mark Bowman, £5. Thanks, Mark. Best live stream going. Have my first Seiko arriving tomorrow. Oh, the Brian May.
The Brian May what?
There's a Brian May edition of a Seiko
Is
It's a
there
Seiko 5, yeah, and it comes in a long box, and it's got the design of his
the red
guitar
special?
on the. It's the red special on the dial. Well, it looks like there's a second limited edition
I have to
because it
have
says
that.
Brian May second and limited. Yeah, you should get it. It's a hard one to get though, man. But
Oh,
it's
I didn't even
only
know
it's like
about it.
$700 or $800. Congrats on that. That's a cool watch. Very, very particular watch.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I
You
had
find
no
it?
idea. Yeah, yeah.
I was offered
What?
one a few months ago.
I didn't even know it existed. God, forgive me, but man, Queen have whored themselves out to every chicken franchise and layabout holiday advert. I mean, Queen. It's like I'm almost embarrassed to say Queen's my favorite band because it's like, oh, that's the tampons I use.
It's
I
true.
mean, it's fucking embarrassing.
But isn't that a new thing? They weren't always so
They
horrid.
never did that.
No.
They never did that. Their music was
Freddie went, and then the rest of the lads
for
saw a
20
blank check.
years they kept silent. And John Deacon left because he said no Freddie, no Queen, and he did a couple of things with them, like the tribute concert, which was actually very cool. And then they did a Brian song called No One Like You in 93, and that was the very last appearance of Mr. John Deacon, because he walked out and he said that's it. Now he's still a member of Queen financially. There's still, but unfortunately, you've got a big interloper in that group, and that's Mary Austin, who Freddie Mercury bequeathed his entire estate to. So she's kind of the Yoko Ono of Queen.
Oh, dear Lord.
Why do we do adverts for tampons? I think they're quite lovely. Don't need them anymore myself, but still lovely for girls.
Michael Lott, $5. Thank you, Michael. You just get through these. I realize that I miss a lot of fellow YouTubers who check in to say hello.
Hello, fellow YouTubers. Hello. Great to see you. Let's just do the whole podcast in British accents today, right? We'll pretend we're in like a Sexy Beast or one of those things.
You do
real
welcome
grimy.
back, watch people.
Welcome back, poor people with poor pulpit. Talking about the new Big Bang. I always associate him there with that. He doesn't have one.
No, he's an AP guy.
I know he's an AP guy, but I always think, because he likes such freaking big watches, I always think, oh, he's an Oobla. He's not. Do you want to hear a very funny thing? The other day, I met this lovely people, and the guy had a deep sea on, and it was beautiful. And then the girl was like, he just bought me a watch. I'm so excited. What is it? And what is it? She goes, oh, it's an Hublot. And I went, oh. And she goes, oh, it was a gift with the Hublot's not good. I was like,
oh, you're not supposed to do that.
I know. I apologized profusely. I was like, I'm sure. And then they showed me a picture of it, and it was actually a watch I'm not familiar with, and it was actually kind of lovely and demure. It didn't look like it should be like on stage with Kanye or Drake, one of those people.
There's a guy who's lost his mind completely.
Well, I've always said it in the kindest terms, because that's not a music that I really gravitate to or care about. But I used to say he's a person with, he's got a disability. And it's not, I don't mean like he's stupid. The guy's got some issues, some clinical issues. And I don't think a lot of people address that for a really long time. I think he's, needs to be medicated and or therapy. He needs stuff. He's not just a moron. He's just a guy that's troubled. People think he's a genius. I've tried to see it. I don't get it. But then again, I don't get that kind of music. So I don't know what genius is in that milieu. I don't. But
the people who think he's a genius all need a smack, and I'll do it. I'll start today.
Yeah.
Pure Tech Inc. $5.
Pure Tech.
What do you think about Panerai Bronzo? I like Panerai in general, so I like it all. I know they're steering away from, they're expanding what they're doing. It's not all about the old Uminors anymore. The radio mirrors. The submersible is a relatively new thing, and so on. And hey, you can get solid gold Panerais.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
they're
attractive.
they're
But
very pretty.
isn't bronze though? Bronze was like the zeitgeist for 10 minutes in the end of last year. Bronze. Everybody went bronze. And
Tudor
then
did it. Yeah.
Tudor did it. Omega did it. Everybody did it. And it's just, you know what? They just look a little. They look like they need good polish. They just look dingy to me.
Yeah, a little dark looking.
Yeah.
And Tudor brought out a silver watch, which of course silver can get very dull and you have to wash it all the time. Des Ferris, 10 quid. How are you, Des? Enjoying the crack. Sonia says hi. Hi, Sonia.
Ciao, Sonia.
Isn't it funny the way you get to know all these people? Like slowly but surely you get to know them all personally.
Sure. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. I mean, not personally, but you know, you can call them by their first name and it doesn't feel weird. Green eggs and ham.
I do not like them, Sam. I am.
The left-hand drive Pelagos.
Oh.
I'm still not into Pelagos. So it doesn't matter whether it's left-hand drive or right-hand. Pelagos says yes to, yeah. Sorry. You know, I made a little promise to myself tonight to not have any Rolex. I don't mind talking about Rolex predictions, but I'm not going to wear any Rolex tonight. Because I started the stream talking about detractors, talking about people who don't understand what a stream is versus a regular episode, etc., etc. A little bit of pushback, whatever you want to call it, from my direction. And one thing I get a lot is, oh, he's all about Rolex. And of course, I have tons of other watches. So I figured tonight I'll just do Omega, a little bit of Seiko and Tudor. Some of my Omegas are locked in the watch winder. I can't open the watch winder. It has a fingerprint reader that I put my finger up to, and it just unlocks the door, and it won't work. So the watches are in there winding, and I don't know how I'm going to get them. So I can't get my Aquaterra out.
Did it forget?
I don't know. I tried to reset it and everything. That thing won't open. I don't know if the mechanism has just failed. I'm gonna have to take a hammer to the thing eventually if it doesn't get any better.
You know, I wonder about that.
Weird, man. They're weird.
It's a weird thing. It reminds me of hotel safes. Like, there's clearly instructions on how to reset a hotel safe. So why can't somebody just walk in there when your shit's in there and just reset it? Then take all your stuff and leave.
Well, certainly the staff know how to do that.
Right.
You know?
But there's a card that says, to reset the safe, press 999 £.
Well, that's to set it. That's to set
no, it says to reset it. There's like, I look at it and I just stare at it and I go, am I just getting this wrong? I got locked out once and I did that and I got in. I forgot what number I put in there. I don't know.
Steve Catalano, thoughts on the Omega Aquaterra World Timer? I love that watch.
Gorgeous.
Big watch though.
Yeah, it's big, but it's gorgeous. Oh.
It's the kind of watch you want to carry a loop around with you all the time because you want to get in and look at that world.
That's all enamel, right? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's gorgeous.
You're sniffling. Do you have a?
I just caught. I don't. Maybe I'm just a sniffly dude. I don't know. I don't think so.
Blow your nose or something. Paul John Puello, $20, man. Wow. Thank you. Have you ever checked out the Seiko Ninja Turtle? I have not. I've not. Do you recommend it? Let me look it up. Actually, you do it there, Dirk, and pull it up on the screen. You know how to do that shit.
The Seiko Ninja Turtle. Hold on. A good one.
Oh, this is a question that came up before you came online. Look, who is Dirk? Dirk is a great friend of mine for many years. Was a fan of the band originally, and then we became good friends. Dirk is a singer of a band called Hitman, which is a metal band. So we have a lot in common because we're both musicians. He's still in his band. That they kind of.
I'm back in my band.
Yeah,
we broke up for 100 years, and then thank God for metal people who You're time. You're about due. It's going to happen any moment now, and it's going to happen
Ask me
because
in
that's
5
what
years.
happens after you lain dormant for several years. You get this groundswell of people who start listening to your stuff all over again, and the next thing you know, they're like, well, we're writing a check to play this festival, and well, you won't be playing in Latvia or anywhere over there. God knows what's going to happen with those
I know.
shows.
Nathaniel's around. Gave up
Hey,
wearing my
Nathaniel.
Rolexes for Lent. Already painful. SBS Diver is well, I mean, it's okay to just go off certain watches for a while. It's okay. Makes sense. You know, some of the watches when they start going up in value as well, you're thinking, geez, I better put it away. You don't feel like wearing it. That bloody AP, I mean, I've barely worn it. Flew up in price so much. I feel guilty wearing it. I shouldn't, I know, but it's hard to ignore that side of it. To some people, 100 grand is nothing, you know, but it's not. That's not the case for me. Name a reason Kanye isn't a genius. He can't speak. He can barely articulate himself in the language. His music is derivative and mindless, and he's a bully, and he has no sense of the conversation around him or people around him in any way, shape, or form. He's extremely insecure to a deep, deep fault. I only thank God he doesn't have a gun in his hand when he's on talk shows and so on. I would not put it past him for start shooting people who disrespect him or laugh at him in any way, which many people do because it's all we can do to a mind like that.
You had a funny story about him years and years ago. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I've met Kanye. Yeah, he came up to me at
right, but to give him the story beforehand. He had absolutely no clue who you were until somebody told him who you were.
Yeah, I was at this big party. It was on the Soho house. It was on the roof, and he was there. And he was leaving, and he spoke to someone who knew someone who knows me. And they were like, "Oh, well, this is these are my friends here, and this is Oshin, and he's a musician too." And he shook my hand. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I know your work, man. I love it." And I thought, "There's no fucking way." But I went, "Oh, thanks very much." And then I realized this is what they must do in the industry.
Sure, for everyone, not just him.
For everyone. It must be a thing just in case you don't know, you know. Like somebody asking me a question about a watch I don't know here, I go, I think it's good, you know, and then I would do the research later. Same kind of thing. So I'm sure he walked off and said, "Who the fuck was that guy?" You know.
Your Majesty, the man you are about to knight is the greatest creator of the prophylactic in London. His name is Sir Nigel Green. Oh, Mr. Green, thank you for your incredible work. In the name of St. John, St. George, and St. Peter.
By the way, the worst thing that ever happened in the world, and the reason why the world needs to end, is McCartney did a track with Kanye. Yeah. Don't get me started on Kanye. Any Kanye fans want to unsubscribe, go right ahead. I'll feel lighter. Tongo Bongo. Oh yeah, that was
Bongo. Somebody told me something about Kanye West being great, and they said, "Oh, his greatest record is XYZ, whatever it was. It was called My Beautiful Dark Twisted Mind or Fantasy." So I said, "Listen, it's not my genre." So I said, "I'm going to listen to it." And you know, I listened to it, and I said, "Wow, the production was really, really good. The beats, I mean, that's a load of bullshit for musicians because you know you have a computer in your house, you can make beats, but it was well done. There was a lot of orchestration on it." And then about a week later, I spoke to a person who I know worked on it because I saw their name in the liner notes, and I said, "Hey, you know, can I ask you a question about that Kanye West record?" I said, "You know, I didn't really put much credence into what that guy does." And I listened to the record, and while I don't get the rap thing, meanwhile, I like what Eminem does, and I like what old school rappers do.
That guy's a genius.
He's a genius. So he goes, "Oh, yeah. He goes, "Oh, he doesn't have anything to do with that." I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, he's got a giant production team. They put these tunes together. He comes in, scribbles some stuff, throws a tantrum, and leaves." And
throws a
he's got,
tantrum. Yes,
yeah,
right. I can
because
see
a
it.
million people take care of the making of his records. It has very, very little to do with him other than, I'm going to call this, Pablo, blah, 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 or whatever. And he just said, no, he doesn't really have anything to do with it.
So the reference you should be looking for is SRP, because you brought up the Seiko Turtle, not the Ninja Turtle. It's SRP H41K1.
Let me do this again.
SRP H41.
H41 Seiko. I'm sorry.
K1 would be Korea, the international version.
International. Is it this thing? No. It's the.
Does it say Ninja Turtle anyway?
IKO Ninja Turtle. Ninja Turtle. Oh, here it is. Right? Is that it? Oh, and here it is. Oh, yeah. So, okay. Oh, I'm in Chrome.
Of course.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, the dark black. That okay, I see. Oh, so it's ninja because, of course, the ninjas were very dark and they were able to hide in dark places because they were all dressed in black, and that's what made them invisible. Of course, I should have known that it was all black. Yeah, cool. That's
pricey.
I can tell you, it's a little pricey. Yeah, it's
whoa,
it's a limited edition. Look, so that's why it's gone up.
Let's see
Some
what
Seikos can get a lot of money like that. Yeah.
Here's
the retail on it was probably $6.99 originally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's an all blacked out it's a blackout version, Here's your doggy. You can remove your screen now.
Yeah, just yes.
There's you on the beach with Dinga.
Yeah.
Smedina, $2. Thoughts on either Glasuta CQ or Panorama Date? I'm not a huge fan. I don't follow them. I'm so sorry. I could pretend and pull it up on Google and have some sort of feigned opinion about it, but unfortunately,
that's because you're a Rolex guy.
I don't. Yeah, that's because I'm all about Rolex, and that's all I know. There are a lot of watches in the world, and it's hard for me to keep up with them all. But now that you've asked, I'll go look it up this week and maybe have an opinion on it in the coming weeks. How about that deal? So you get your money's worth.
Nice. I see a lot of people on the side talking about hip hop. No offense to your musical taste, I just don't. I mean, I just don't know.
I like Public Enemy years ago. Chuck D, Flavor Flav. Right?
That's when it had something to say. Rage Against the Machine was angry and political.
That's not
he doesn't sing.
No, he raps, but it's you went from icons in the hip hop world to Rage Against the Machine. It's a slightly different thing, certainly.
Are they not iconic?
They're not. It's not.
It's not Chuck D. No, I know that. It's not Run DMC.
Yeah,
Cool J.
He steps slightly out, but that's okay. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, everybody admits that Eminem is a mega genius. I think. Look, it comes down to this. If you think Kanye's genius, then your world is. That's the way I see it. I'm sorry. Music is my thing. It's like saying I had a little quartz watch with an elephant on the dial that I bought for $10 in a local Kmart. And that's the best watch I've ever owned. And it's an incredible watch.
To you.
You don't. To you, in your world. The guy who's now sleeping with Kanye's ex-wife, Kim, that guy Pete Davidson, used to say that Kanye's a genius. He's a fan. Look at Pete Davidson. Does he look like he knows what a real music genius is? He's a cool guy and he's funny, but I don't think that guy has Shostakovich in his album collection or Abbey Road or God knows, or the list is bloody long. Does he know the difference between a concerto and a symphony? I doubt it.
No.
I think the guy just listens to the goddamn radio, and that's
everybody, though. That's most people. That's one of the cardinal things, the problems with being a musician and being in the music business is that if you're worth your salt or if you have any modicum of talent at all, when you see all this kind of fakery going on. And let's face it, hip hop, I'm not, and once again, I'm not dismissing it as a genre, because I think that there's some great things there to offer, just not for me, but I'm sure that there's great artists involved in it. Most of it is very synthetic. It's done on a laptop. It's just a lot of spewing. You ever see, like, if you're in New York or if you're in a big city with a public transportation, you see a guy in the corner and be like, and motherfucker's getting down. She looking like a crown. He's rehearsing his rhymes like in public with a hoodie on. He's like, she a motherfucking. It's like, are you okay? Can I help you? Because this is not good.
I know what's going on.
I don't know. I mean, we all kind of went to school for music, and that might be nerdy, but because, Mick Jagger didn't go to school for music. Paul McCartney didn't go to school for music. That nerd.
No, you don't need to be super knowledgeable about it to be. I think I heard a lot of folks talk about Kanye being a genius, and I got the distinct feeling that they were a little scared of him. That he was so rich and so powerful. That the trend was to say he's a genius, just in case he ever asked you to work with him, and then you could buy a house. Because the money that the man was making and generating is astronomical. Can we move off of Kanye? Because I'm ready to join some of the people who have already bowed out of watching this thing. It makes me sick. Sorry. Let's even get back to watches. B.S. Denton, $5. Do you have any experience with the Tudor Heritage Chrono? The only experience I have is that it's a very thick and heavy watch. What they did with this one is they reduced the thickness of it ever so slightly by not even a millimeter, but it's noticeable. Like, I have the Heritage Black Bay here, and this is a thicker watch. I love this watch, by the way. I did a thing on it recently, you saw. But this is a little slimmer, the Chrono, because the Chrono previous to this one was a noticeably thick watch, and that can turn people off watches, and it does. It turns me off certain watches when it's too thick. I don't know how many deep sea dwellers I was offered at the AD and turned them down.
You could wear that, though. You could pull it off.
I could get away with it, but it was just, walking around with this big hockey puck. I couldn't handle it. I really love when a watch is slim as it can be. It doesn't have to be razor. I'm going to put on the very first watch that got me into this whole thing. And one of the things I love about it every time I put it on is how slim it is for what it is. This is the Seamaster. Let me solo myself for a second and see if I can get this. Look at her, 1993 beauty. And I just love, it's a 41 mil. It's a diver. It's a beefy, tough, rugged watch. But look how slim it wears. Look how elegant that is. Beautiful. That's my 2 cents. Let me get through these. But thank you, B.S. Denton.
B.S. Denton. Definitely okay now. To some people it is, but whatever. He's over it already.
It's music. Yeah. It certainly is. So is Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Right. Des Ferris, £5. Brandon asks, have you ever used Egmont OP84? No, not yet. Not yet. Maybe I'll get around to it, man.
For Beethoven.
I would consider it. Thank you, Brandon.
That's like the weird incidental music he made for like a play, right?
Is
it the Van Gogh shit? Isn't that what that is?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure of it. I think it's not. I forget. Is the Egmont? The Egmont is. I'm gonna look that up. I think it's like for a play.
Paddy McNamara at €10. Hi guys.
Yes.
Do we still listen to vinyl?
I do.
You? I don't. I don't.
You can't see it. I've got about 2,000 pieces of vinyl here. I don't listen to them all, but I do. I did get one of those USB turntables a while back, and every once in a while I'll put something worthy on. Something good. Egmont Opus 84. Incidental music pieces.
Setup is back in It's back in Dublin. It's been there gathering dust for years.
Amazon. You get one of those little Crowley little attaches. You open them up and they have a turntable on them. It's great for a party because does anybody give a shit about high fidelity anymore?
I do. That's why I won't do it. That's why I won't do it.
Well, because nowadays the kids are like listening to MP3s, which are absolute. They're worse than cassettes. It's the worst sounding crap compressed garbage ever. But
I don't know about that, but yeah, okay. We'll disagree on that one too. We're disagreeing a lot this evening. I'm all about audio. I was going to buy a Riga Planar, the 3 with an Audio Technica arm and moving coil cartridge and stuff a couple of years ago, and set up a big and KEF speakers and the whole thing and get really into it. But then I broke up with the girlfriend and I moved to Venice and it all got pushed back again. All my vinyl collection is back in Ireland and it's been there for 1,000 years. I used to be insane about audio quality. I loved vinyl. Someday I'll get around to putting a vinyl collection or a vinyl setup together. I'll fly back to Ireland and pick up the whole collection and
ship it.
Yeah, but until then, but vinyl is beautiful.
It is beautiful, and it
requires maintenance. That's the problem, It
does.
CDs and MP3s and so on don't. Question for D. What's your favorite condiment?
That's no secret. You know what my favorite condiment is, right? I mean, you know me so well. I would put mayonnaise on an aspirin.
I didn't know you were big into mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is my favorite food. I love it. I put it on everything. I love it. I dip pretzels in it. I should weigh 500 pounds, and sometimes I do.
I know you're so into mayo.
It's got to be Hellman's, but I do when I go to Europe and stuff. I love, I'm a supermarket junkie, and the first thing I do is I go to the mayonnaise aisle to see if there's something interesting. I go to Greenpoint and I buy Polish mayonnaise. I love mayonnaise. I love it. I love.
Do you ever eat it with a spoon?
No, I would. No.
I've seen Lydia's grandma do that. Sit in the corner with Hellman's and eat it with a spoon.
Right. Oh, God. And Hellman's in Europe is completely different. It's got higher egg content.
Oh,
yeah. It's happening again. Apparently, I have. I wanted to talk to you about this earlier, but you were so busy this week. I don't know. Apparently, I've got video lag, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it kind of freezes for a second.
I changed all my equipment out. I swapped. I went.
It might be something to do with StreamYard or something. I don't know.
I went to back to gigabit Ethernet.
Wow.
I got a new modem, and I'm not even. I'm hardwired.
You think it's on my end?
No, I think it's StreamYard. Every single program on my computer closed. I mean, I've got, no,
that wouldn't be anything to do with it. It might be on my end, the processing of it.
Don't know.
I'm going to close YouTube for a second because that can slow things down on my end.
So does my feed have to go through your feed? It does, I guess. Huh?
I suppose so. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry, folks. I thought I did my due diligence because Nathaniel, our friend and loyal buddy of the channel and the streams, he pulled me aside and he said that I had a couple of issues the last 2 times. So I went and I got all brand new router, brand new modem, and I upped my internet because I used to have gigabit and I got rid of it during the pandemic. But I don't know. Sorry.
Sababala. Is that how you say that? Sababala 93 Omega Seamaster. Yes, this is the first of the automatics. The 1109 movement just before the 1120 came out.
Golden eye on lace on leather. Golden eye. Do you know who wrote that song?
I have to turn down your volume when you do that.
Golden eye on lace on leather. Do you know who wrote that song? Good trivia for you.
I don't know, man.
Bono and the Edge.
Really?
They did.
Jubilee, 2 books. Can we see the telly behind our friend on the right?
Yeah.
The telly was shown recently, but let's show it again. Green telly.
It's teal.
Oh, it's
It's
teal.
it's an American deluxe, see? And it's got a see-through lacquer body, and it's beautiful. I love it.
Wow.
I love it.
I'll
It's
see
my
you then.
workhorse. I use it for everything. That's the Les Paul Gold Top that I borrowed. I use it a lot.
Wow.
It's not mine. I have one that's a Chipson, and it's a piece of Chipson. But I've got a lot of other guitars that a lot of semi-hollow bodies because of your brother.
Ticking time, $2. Vietti 2016 Barolo. Yes, I've had lots of Vietti. It's really, really good. Some of their wines are organic, but good, high quality organic. I usually steer clear of that crap. But Vietti are really good. Their Nebbiolo is excellent as well. You'll spend, if you're in the States, you'll spend 70, 75 in a Vietti at least. Definitely worth trying. They have a flowery label. Really, really good stuff. Alistair Brody, 179. Hey, Kanye Oshin, do you like U2? I do. I do. I really like U2. I have such respect for them. I really, when I was younger, I wasn't a U2 fan. I was into progressive rock and more cerebral music, you might call it. But eventually I matured and said, look, you know what? It's undeniable what U2 did to music. So it's great. And to Ireland, Irish rock music, it's great. Time to unwind. Question for me, favorite snack in a bag.
I love these questions. Time to unwind. These are great.
Snack in a bag?
What's your favorite snack in a bag? Like crisps. Tato or Kings.
Tato or King.
Tato or Kings.
I think I like almonds. I just like regular dry almonds.
God,
they look so dry and uninteresting, and then you start eating them, and then it's crack cocaine.
But then,
or some crazy Pringles. I love those things too.
Pringles never caught on in the States.
Oh, they're huge here.
I know they're huge in all of the world, but Pringles are just like
so there's oily. One. My favorite U2 song. There are two. One is Unforgettable Fire, and the other is All I Want Is You.
All I Want Is You.
Such an amazing
I
song.
have too many favorite U2 songs.
Yeah, what's your favorite? I mean, what are your top few? I know there's no such thing as a favorite, but
I love Please.
Oh yeah.
And I love Gone. And because I am a very big fan and supporter of the pop record, which I think is super underrated. And I love Bad, of course. And I love Raised by Wolves off their last record. Great song.
Really?
Really good. Raised by Wolves. Terrific. I like a lot of their stuff. Do You Feel Loved? I like it all. I didn't like them till Locktongue Baby, though. But I saw them. I think I said this on the channel already. I saw them when they were like almost nobodies.
You did?
Yeah.
Say it.
They were cool.
Try again. £5, random topic. Just got my first African grey parrot. What? 6 months old. Absolutely stunning. Okay. Cool. Congratulations.
That's great.
That's something I know zero about. Zero.
You're gonna have it for 75 years because they live that long.
See, you know something. This is why you're on the show, man. Guys, anybody asking me who is Dirk? He's a bloody encyclopedia.
No,
like there are people I've been told by people in my lifetime that I know a little bit about most things. Like I can be asked, but it's not true when you're in the room. You are truly.
Don't ask me about American football because I would be like, duh. Duh. Basketball.
Well, I'd be duh as well.
But baseball.
I watched the rugby last week with my ma.
That's a macho
here
sport.
in the Irish pub, the Ireland versus Italy, and I thought to myself, what do Americans think when they see this? Because no one's got a helmet on, no one's got protection on.
Because rugby is American football is rugby for pussies.
Well, someone once made a point that as big as the rugby guys are in Europe, they're not as big as the American guys. This is 2 tons of guy,
But they're also
crashing
big and
into
fat. They're just brick walls in American football, other than the quarterbacks and the guys that
who
have to
just
run.
makes a dash for it. Yeah.
Right. Those guys are lithe and all that shit.
It was
but
funny because the thing started, and within 30 seconds, one guy had a big cut on his forehead, like
oh yeah.
2 inches long, and there's blood everywhere, and they dragged him off. And I thought, like, you just never see that. Yeah, the only thing that happens to the American guys is they get brain damage or they break their neck, right? Which is
Right.
pretty
They are.
hardcore.
I
It's
just think of
pretty
like
hardcore.
Delalio. Remember him? Larry Delalio? He's like a freaking.
You talking about American football?
No, I'm talking about rugby. He's a rugby.
Oh, I don't know much about it either. I'm sorry.
All right.
Not the hugest sports fan.
What about hurling? Are you familiar with a lot of hurling? Hurling is an Irish word.
Origo McNamara. I don't know.
Oh,
Bullet the Blue Sky. Yeah, that's a great song, man.
Bullet the Blue Sky is great.
That live one. The
Well,
live version. That is
yeah.
great.
Oh,
Timepiece Adventures is asking about bases. Other than the Rickenbacker, I don't know how many bases I have left now. I had at a certain point at about, I think I had 15 or 16 at the most, at a peak point. But I think I only have 4 or 5 now. I have a JD, I have the Rick, I have a P, I have the grassroots thing. What else do I have? I can't remember.
you've got the base in LA, the P base.
That's
right?
the P.
Okay.
Emmett has that. 75P, blonde, all blonde.
You don't have a jazz though, right?
I had a jazz for a very long. I had several jazzes over the years.
Yeah.
And the last one I had, I sold. I remember selling that. I think I have a status base somewhere, one of the graphite status bases.
Hmm.
I don't know. Nathaniel, single as a Pringle.
They come in crowds of 50. They're all naked and spooning.
I don't.
That means the Pringles in the can.
Oh yeah, I know, but
he's got a very cheeky, risque sense of humor.
he does.
I got it right away. It's like single as a Pringle.
They're all naked and spooning in the.
Right, they are. They don't taste like potato chips though. They taste.
They're not
something else.
They're made of something else. Look it up.
Oh.
They're made of something else. It came up in the game of Trivial Pursuit one night. I remember a few years ago what they're made of, and it was like, oh god, I want to throw up. What wine am I drinking? I'm just having a little Pinot Grigio, Luis Hartnett. Just a little. I might move over to something else. Depends on how long we go here. We're in an hour at an hour and 8 minutes. Can't speak tonight. I don't know. I'm knackered. Yeah, that's true, Jimmy. Australian rules football is not for the timid. It's true. Like they let them go ape shit on each other.
Yeah, they're well. I mean, those guys, the Australian guys, are nuts, aren't they?
There's Design Atelier. Greetings from Aruba.
Hey, Design Atelier.
Aruba Dushitera.
Love your channel, man.
Bondi. There's Nathaniel again, man.
Wow.
And not so comparable. Well, this is the argument that Americans always make. They always make that exact argument. And I always go, huh? It's kind of, I mean, there are light differences between them, but by God, from a violence point of view, they look the same to me. In fact, if anything, rugby has the scrum where they all get together and they go around like a big crab or something with a dozen legs, you know.
Yeah, it's
and
not
their ear. That's how they get cauliflower ear, because their heads are against one another and they're rubbing like this.
Oh, I didn't realize rugby guys got that as well, because I know that's a boxer thing.
Yeah, lots of rugby guys have cauliflower ear.
Ugh.
Rugby is physical and rough. Self-preservation requires moderation. Yeah, that the Americans kind of let loose because they have protection. Jesus, I don't know, man. If you watch a lot more rugby, you might think differently. I don't see anyone holding back. One guy went right in at 60 miles an hour, and it's like you got it
Yeah, yeah.
right at the head, and
They
it's
crack
holding
their
it.
heads open and
Yeah,
bones
I
come
mean,
out of limbs.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, but it is true that some of the American guys are as burly and as big as the rugby guys, but they're 6'7". So you're talking an extra 100 pounds in weight above the rugby lads. So that is true. They're larger fellas, if that's even possible. They are. So,
So yeah, if that's the case, Pringles are made from dehydrated potato flakes. Okay.
I didn't. I know. I thought there was something else in them.
I just looked it up. Dried potatoes, vegetable oil, corn, cottonseed, and high oleic soybean oil may contain sunflower oil, degerminated yellow corn flour, cornstarch, rice flour, maltodextrin, mono, and triglycerides, salt, and whey starch. But wait a second. The question was never answered. What is your favorite snack in a bag?
I don't take snacks around.
You don't ever get a packet of crisps, or I like a Dorito. I gotta say, I like a nacho cheese Dorito. I don't eat them much, but I like them on a sandwich with mayonnaise.
Sure. Okay, I'll go with that one. I don't need a lot of that stuff. I don't mind a Pringle every now and then. And I love, as I said, nuts. Nuts are nice.
Potato.
I'm not. Yeah, I was never big into the chips thing.
Even growing up, you didn't like a
wasn't mad about
smoky
them.
bacon, cheese and onion.
It would happen from time to time, but I was never a big fan.
It was such a treat, though, because we weren't allowed.
And I'm from Ireland, where they basically live on. We have a crisp sandwich. People make potato chip sandwiches in Ireland. White bread with butter and potato chips all around. I mean, how lowbrow can you get? I don't know.
Hey, fills the tummy.
Sure.
Right.
It's like a butter sandwich. Do you ever see those? It's just butter.
800 of them.
Have you?
Sure. Oh my God. I mean, yeah. I love butter. I love all that shit.
Derek has a Speedy reduced.
He does.
A very nice one. That's the Speedy with the 2 movements.
Yep. Du pois.
An amazing watch. I have a lot of respect for that watch.
One can put a baguette and bottle of wine in a bag.
Then I'm down. Nathaniel.
I would imagine Oisin's satchel would definitely have a baguette. Au beurre. Avec vin.
Avec vin.
It's like wah. Oh, wah. Wah.
Ticking time. $10. Wife wants a Speedy from 82. Wow, she's got some taste. Good man. How to find one in good condition that doesn't break the bank. Saw a couple on Chrono for 10. Well, if it's 82, then it's a 145022 or 0022. If it's in excellent condition, they are going up to 10K or more. Someone was asking me about my one today, and he was interested in getting one for 10K with the 1450 bracelet. I was like, forget it, dude. I'm getting it. There's a lot in not great condition. Lots of them with scratches on the bezel and dented bezels. That's a very common injury to a Speedy. And a lot of people don't mind. There's that ethos of like, it doesn't matter. It's got its scars and it's better for that.
Hold the phone on that. I'm going to share this with him right now because look what I just found. Okay. There you go. Go buy this right now. Oh, right. Sorry about that. I got to get that out of there. I have 2 screens and that always messes everything up. Okay. I got to learn how to do that correctly. Okay. See that?
Or just unplug one screen.
1982 Omega Speedmaster 145022 for $3,900.
There's a window in the way. Can you take it out of the way? See
Is
what we're
there?
seeing?
What are you seeing?
Look at the StreamYard stream. Oh, it's gone now.
Yeah.
It's gone. Whatever you did. Can you zoom in on that or do any sort of adjustment to that at all?
Your view. Zoom in. That's the wrong one.
You don't have a pinch and zoom, of course, because you're using a mouse.
No, because I'm on the. Hold on, zoom in. There you go.
Okay.
A
Do that a couple
1980.
more times for us, because you've got a massive screen with high resolution, and it's all
Oh,
tiny,
yeah.
tiny on the screen. We'll figure this out for the next time. Sorry, guys, but this super own pro. Sorry.
Does that help?
Well, it's just made it full screen. It hasn't done anything. The zoom in was the best help. You might want to hit Command Plus on your. Will that work? There you go.
Oh yeah, look at
Doing that. There you go. Okay, you can't go wrong with a classic moon watch. So what have we got here?
Oh,
we have
it says
long S,
sold
long
out.
R. Oh, it's sold out. Yeah. Well, this
Shit.
is from a while ago.
Oh, is it?
If you go in Chrono and have a look for these.
Okay. Hold on.
So that's a 1450022.
Yeah.
Look for the 145022.
So that's what I typed in.
She wants one for 1982. Must be her birthday.
Oh,
So
let's see what we got here. 1985. Okay, so no.
yeah, look around for 1982. See if we can find it. I'll change watch just to give people something to look at. But I still adore this watch, man. Sometimes I feel like just reducing the collection to that. Let me shake it up completely here and put on a Seiko.
Oh yeah.
Samurai. Shoei Row. As featured on the video recently with alongside an Audemars. While you're searching for that, I'm going to do a full screen me.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Look at the color.
It is beautiful.
Looks good on me too.
Wow.
Yeah. Not too thick either. What a watch. Lumen, this thing is badass as well.
Okay, go back. Look at this. How about this one? Right.
It's reserved already, man. But yeah.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
shit.
it says right there. 82. Good price. Wow, really good. No papers, right?
No papers.
No box, no papers. That's normal.
It's
normal for these things.
Reserved. Why'd they make me go through that shit? Well, you know what to do, don't you? Right?
What?
I shouldn't have anything open there. Okay. Yeah. You just go on Chrono and go look around. They're out there. You can find them. Go to jewelry stores. Go to watch shops. Go to downtowns. Go to, I'm always waiting for. I hate hearing that story, man. I was at an estate sale in a driveway, and there was a guy. They had this 1950s a Rolex. Like, sure, I paid $10 for it. Great, good for you. One of these days, I'll find a CK2915 in somebody's drawer, that died.
That would be great if that happened. I've just gone onto eBay because there was one floating around for a while that was just like mine, and it wasn't too bad. It was actually really, really good deal, but it's gone. And there's someone just selling the 1450 bracelet by itself now for $2,400.
Wow.
Yeah, you may have missed the boat there, man. There was a time I got mine for $4,500. Not amazing.
That's incredible.
Think of that.
Incredible. Those days.
But it's worth it if you buy it for her and you spend the 10K or the 12, you probably spend 12. It's worth it, man. It's a great watch.
It's a beautiful watch. Beautiful.
Time to unwind. $8.99. Last one tonight, fellas. Yes, World Cup cakes be all that? What would cupcakes be all that? I don't understand. What does that mean? Oh, he's just asking us about food. Okay, I don't like cupcakes.
Me neither. I don't eat
They're for
cupcakes.
show.
I
They're
don't.
not like any. Yeah.
I think I've probably had 6 cupcakes in my life. It's never been interesting. I don't like cake. I'd rather have mayonnaise. You like sweets though, right? Do you like chocolate, right? You like ice cream.
Sure, sometimes. I mean, I try to avoid it, but it happens.
So I've been on keto for a couple of weeks and I bought this keto ice cream. And I'm not going to say it's good because it's not Haagen-Dazs. But it isn't bad. It's called Rebel. And the entire carton has 6 grams of carbohydrate in it.
Wow.
And it's like triple chocolate caramel. It's actually not bad.
Wow.
So, and even if you don't like sweets, when you're on keto, you want something because everything's so boring.
Yeah, because you haven't had it. Yeah.
You have nothing. There's like scrambled eggs and cheese, and because I don't eat meat. So, I mean, you'd do great on that because it's just have a steak every night and a bottle of wine. Keto.
That's basically my diet.
Yeah. You're on keto every day anyway.
Every day.
Yeah. It's funny.
Mars or Snickers?
Ooh,
I like a Snickers. I do
Snickers.
have to say. Yeah.
Snickers.
Thank you, Andy M.
Might rule the world as far as the top 5 candy bars go. Top 5.
I'm not a candy bar guy, so you're asking the wrong question to the wrong guy.
The ones that you've had.
I mean, Snickers. Well, I can think of them, but they wouldn't be my top ones. I don't know. Oh yeah, there was one I loved that was kind of soft in the middle years ago. It was like I think you called it molds or something in America.
I hope not.
No, not molds. No, I don't know, but it was. Oh shit, I can't even remember. You see, that's how much I eat a candy bar. The coconut one. What's that called?
Mounds.
That's the word I was thinking of. Yeah. Mounds. You see, I don't know it. It's like asking of a rare species of spider from
People Amajoy's got nuts. Mounds don't, because sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. That was the advert for that chocolate bar. And if I ate one, I would be in the emergency room.
Toblerone, there's a cool one.
Toblerone gets so stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, right.
Oof. And you always eat it in the airport, don't you?
Yeah, well, that's where you get the big ones. Remember,
Billy
Connolly had that sketch about the Toblerone, that it's the Swiss trying to take people out in a passive way because you're trying to get your teeth between the pyramids and it gets stuck and it hits your brain on the inside of your mouth or whatever. It was really funny. Mounds. Sorry, Evan G. Yeah, I mean, Kit Kat's nice, I guess.
Kit Kat's nice. And then there's all the chocolatey
Bounty.
stuff.
There it is. Bounty. Thank you.
Bounty. Right. That's
Bounty
just chocolate and coconut.
Yeah, it's coconut stuff, and then there's a dark version that was pretty good. But like, if you're eating these things enough to know all the different, like, this is not stuff. Stuff to be.
I know all the British ones too, the Cadbury ones, Fruit and Nut and Marathon and Flake.
Okay, there's one. Yorkie Fruit and Nut. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
There's a Yorkie that's a fruit and nut.
Yeah.
And they got in trouble recently because of the woke crowd. You see all the anti-wokers now will wake up, come on, with their pitchforks. The original commercial for Yorkie, because there were big chunks of chocolate, it was for truck drivers. It was always truck drivers in the commercial. It's like it said on the advertisement, Yorkie, not for girls, not for women or something like that. Because it was always a manly bar.
Right. But now manly, yes, but I like it too.
But now it's like, you can't say that anymore. Okay.
You can't say anything anymore. Do you remember Irish Spring, the soap?
Is that gone?
No, it's still around, but their tagline was manly, yes, but I like it too. Like the woman would be showering up. She would steal her man's soap because it was for men, Irish Spring.
Wow.
But, it's for they. Soap for they. They like it.
Curly whirly. There's a word I haven't heard in a long time. Curly whirly. That was a big chewy bar that was all curly. It was always included in those Christmas boxes with chocolate. I should be an expert because the Irish are obsessed with this stuff. It's one of the reasons why we're not a particularly attractive people in general. People are just chips and chocolate constantly. I mean, not the Irish.
It's why you don't
see
have
on
an
the movie.
army.
Yeah, right.
Why
But
you're
I
never
grew up
in
with
the
all
Olympics.
this stuff.
Yeah,
We're not in the
Olympics.
Olympics.
No. That's right. Next year, for now, I'm having a pint. Do you want to join the Olympic team next year?
Milky Way. There's one of the ones with the puffy stuff.
I don't like those, and I don't.
But there's
like
another one with the same. There's an American version with the
called
same.
Three Musketeers, and it's gross.
Thank you. Three Musketeers.
Airy nougat on the inside. I don't like the texture of that. It's creepy. I don't like it. You know what's good? Baby Ruth. Those are good. And Payday, which are salted peanuts. That's a good one too. It all sounds good to me right now because I'm eating fucking cardboard.
How's it going?
It's fine. It's fine. Just you just take a couple of weeks. Take a couple of weeks. I have nothing there. I think I just have a bad habit.
Oh, it's a habit. It's a habit.
I think so because I'm clear as a whistle. Yeah, I don't know.
Crisps and peanuts, says Derek Fox. What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, so look, this Rolex day is coming up in a few weeks now. Late March, early April. I don't know the exact date. And I feel like everybody's just waiting around now, waiting for something to happen, waiting to see. I was talking to someone. I have 2 Milgauss Z Blues, as you know. I was talking to someone today about what they'd be interested in paying for one. I said, I don't need 2. And I was upfront that I bought them for investment, but then fell in love. But there's that hysteria as it comes toward the date. If they don't do anything to it or they make a better one or something, what happens then after? Everybody is kind of left with these watches in their hands. They thought they were going to be discontinued, but they weren't. It's an interesting topic.
That's like stocks.
Right.
Do you sell now? Do you not? It's
yeah.
I mean, luckily, you aren't in it for that. I mean, you buy some for investment pieces, but listen, I've been telling you to get a Milgauss for 100 years, and you got 2 of them. Oh, look at that! My phone's ringing. I'm not answering. Bye. Oh, let me get that out of
Is
here.
it telesales?
Yeah, I didn't think
do your old woman voice.
Yeah, you want to do that? Can I do that for fun?
Yeah.
Hello.
Welcome to Spectrum.
It's not Spectrum, by the way. It's a scam call. It's not the cable company.
Internet and phone for only $29.99 per month.
Can you guys all hear that?
Bundle. This is a limited time offer. Hurry! Spectrum simply gives you more for less. Further details, press 1. Otherwise, hang up the call.
Oh, I really want some new Spectrum.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi dear. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you? Who is this? Is this Spectrum?
Yes, ma'am. My name is James Maxwell, and I'm calling you from Spectrum Promotion Department.
Oh, hello, James. I have Spectrum. I have the TV, and the way you get how do you say with the computer, and I have my phone, Spectrum. You're calling from Spectrum?
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good. Well, how are you? How's everything for you? Good.
I'm fine. Thank you so much. So kind of you.
What can I do for you?
Actually, ma'am, Spectrum is running promotion for their customers to lower down the bills for them and to make them customer for a long time.
Oh.
Could you please tell me what was the last monthly bill for you?
Oh, $24.97. I have a special rate because I used to be on Time Warner Cable. It's very inexpensive.
Yeah, that is really. If you do have any other problem, so you can tell me, and I'm here for you to solve that problem for you.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a problem with the thing that's connected to the computer. I can't watch my stories. I'm trying to watch my stories. I like to watch this. There's a story about a man from England, and he has a lover in India, and there's like it's like a big drama. I like to watch that show, and she's what's the right way of saying it? She's not really a girl. She's a boy.
How you didn't wait for his reaction?
He hung up.
Oh,
He hung up finally. You know, I played with them for hours and hours and hours. Hello, you know. The other day it was like, we have your insurance for you. Your car. Which what make and model of the car is it?
The blue one or the yellow one?
I don't know. It's fun. Anyway, I changed my neighbor. I take care of an elderly neighbor, and I changed her phone number yesterday because somebody scammed her out of her prescription insurance, and I had to get it back because she's an old lady, and she's like,
okay.
And she signed on the dotted line digitally. So these people, they call up and they target older people. And some, I guess, you know, you hit 100 a day, you probably get lucky on 2 or 3 of them. And I guess that's enough. But anyway.
That's enough to make it worthwhile.
I guess it is. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, big fun.
Here's one. Are we Jewish? Are we Jewish?
Are you
Legends
Jewish?
Is wondering.
Jew or not Jewish? A Jew? Do you ever go on that website? Jew, not a Jew?
It's a great site.
It's a great site. And because it's always like it'll be like Woody Allen, sadly a Jew. Or it'll be like Abraham Lincoln, sadly not a Jew. Or like, you know, look at somebody who recently did something really stupid. Like what's the name of that actor? I like him. The Transformers kid.
Shia
LaBeouf. Yeah. Right. It's like sadly a Jew.
Why is he sadly a Jew? What did he do?
Because he pulled some crazy shenanigans.
Oh, because he's mad and it's like it's not doing it. Yeah, it's not okay.
But he's brilliant.
Doesn't look good.
He went on like one chat show. I think it was like David Letterman before he checked out. And he had gotten arrested one night in New York City at the Cabaret Broadway musical. And he told the freaking funniest story.
Here we go again.
No,
answer it.
No, I hung up on it.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hello?
This is a courtesy call for AT&T and DirecTV customers. We have a promotion running in which we are helping our customers dropping down their monthly bills.
Okay.
So, if you are not happy with bills and want to lower your bills, press 1.
Okay, hold on.
You want to be...
Could you get my medication? It's on the... Yes. Okay. Thank you, Sally. Hello?
Hello, hi, this is Gavin from AT&T DirecTV.
Oh.
How are you doing today?
Hello. Yes. This is Mildred. Hello?
I think he was on to me. He was going to try to sell me something with AT&T. Usually they tell you to get your bill. So I go,
oh, let me find my purse.
It's funny shit. Anyway, where were we? Oh, Jew, not a Jew. Funny. Jeffrey Epstein. Certainly Jew. Yeah. So sadly a Jew.
Jeffrey Epstein is sadly a Jew.
Yes.
Yeah, who's sadly not a Jew though? Who do they do that with?
Well, it depends on.
They really want to be Jewish, but he isn't in the end.
Well, you know, like Neil Diamond and Barbara Streisand, all these great Jews, Carl Sagan, you know,
all these, yes,
you know, all the
there's a long list. Albert Einstein,
a long list of Albert Einstein, right? All the smarties. Right? So there's that list, and then there's like the hot new star, and they're like, oh, sadly not a Jew, you know, claim them for the tribe, and you know, but you know, it's funny. Everybody wants to be part of the same team, right? It's funny. If you go on that site, you will be locked on it for days.
Because it's funny. It's a really funny site.
Whoever writes it is hilarious because they give little brief descriptions of their accomplishments or their misbehavings. Oh God, it's Buddy Hackett, Abe Vigoda, Michael Douglas, all Jews.
They're going through them.
And some of my Kevin S. It's great. Yeah. Most of my favorite rockers are Jews, most of them. Incredible musicians.
Aren't Kiss?
They're all Jews, except Gene and Paul are.
Long Island Jews.
Gene was born in Israel. And then there was I'm sorry, earlier there was somebody wrote, it wasn't a super chat, but I was going to say it was like Derek, Peter, Chris, or Eric Carr. I like them both. Gene Simmons is from Haifa, Israel, moved to Queens, Kew Gardens, Queens, and Paul Stanley is from Queens too. My sister Pat was Paul Stanley's mother's bank teller.
Wow.
At County Federal Savings and Loan. She used to come in with KISS checks and she'd cash them.
Here's one I missed, Nathaniel. Monks in Kentucky produce Maker's Mark. Infused fudge. Wow. I want to taste some of that. Can you send some my way, man? Let me know how much I owe you. I want to taste some of that fudge with Maker's Mark in it. That would work well.
Yeah, boozy. You like boozy chocolate?
I do. There's something I like.
Larry David, yes. Well, Captain
Larry
Kirk.
David, of course.
Listen, there's a lot of unbelievable Jews out there, guys. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. What about Woody? He's my favorite.
Woody.
They don't want him.
My favorite human being that's ever walked the face of this earth, Carl Sagan.
Oh, yeah.
Just did it again. That's a bad habit. Tim Watley, the dentist, right? He's just in it for the jokes. You don't know Seinfeld, right?
You ask me this once a year
because
for the
people
past 15 years, Dirk.
Because there's, I mean, no matter what happens in a conversation, especially with fellas, there's always going to be a Seinfeld
reference to Seinfeld.
Yeah. Because Tim Watley was played by the guy from Breaking Bad. What's his name?
Shit.
Help us out here in the chats, guys. I'm so sorry.
Come on.
So famous now.
Bryan Cranston.
One of his first gigs was he played a dentist on Seinfeld. And he told Jerry that he was converting. And then after he converted to Judaism, he started becoming a comedian. So Jerry was there. He's like, he's just a Jew for the jokes. He's in it for the comedy.
I remember I saw a great comedian supports Ricky Gervais years ago in New York. Yeah. And I didn't know the guy. He's still not that famous, this guy, but he was really funny too. And I was chatting to a comedian who lived below my house at the time. Oh, there was a really good guy on before. And he was like, who is he? Maybe I know him because he did the same circuit, you know? Yeah. And I was like, God, what was his name? Hold on. Little guy, Jewish guy. And he goes, well, that narrows it down. It's like they're all little Jewish guys on the comedic scene in New York.
Sure. Well, I mean,
including the guy I was speaking to, Jeff.
My one of my old friends, she's a Catholic woman, but she married a Jewish guy, and we were talking about doctors. You know, when you're going in for surgery and you find out that your surgeon's name is Solomon Zuckerberg, you're like, thank God.
Or into court.
Or into court, right?
Because
they are brilliant doctors.
Do you remember Larry David figures out his lawyer is Swedish? He's like, I'm gonna lose everything in the divorce. Troy McMahon back again with a vengeance. Have you ever tried chocolate champagne truffles?
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. And can we talk about the best brand in the whole wide world? Teuscher.
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 Okay.
There's lots of them. There's Le Maison du Chocolat, because I love champagne truffles. The ones from Teuscher are made with Dom Perignon, and they are shipped in. And if they're not sold by the end of the day, they throw them out.
Oh wow! High standards.
A box of 4 costs $16, or it did. I haven't bought them in a while. But I'll never forget one time I was on tour with the band, and I forget where we were going, but we were in Switzerland. We were in Zurich. And I remember trying to catch a hopper to somewhere else. And right at the gate was a Teuscher like kiosk. And I was like, oh, I'm going home in like a week or something. So it was I couldn't get truffles because they have to be fresh. So I said, I'll get some of their harder chocolates. And I bought truffles for myself. It was like 2 or 3 Swiss francs. It was so cheap over there, but it was so expensive here. It cost nothing. So I wound up on the way back, because we did fly out finally from Switzerland, from Geneva. I got all these boxes and boxes and boxes of Teuscher, and it cost me nothing but champagne truffles. Wow. Incredible. Have you never had those?
No, I have not. Ticking Time is asking about the new channel. I set up the new channel. I set up the iBashers channel today.
Oh, you did?
But it's not being cast. I tried to cast this over to it, and it needs 24 hours to verify before doing a live stream. That's the problem. So I did it earlier today, so it'll be ready by tomorrow. Guys, there's a new channel. It'll be The iBashers, which is me and this guy over there.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll talk about kind of anything. We won't have to talk about watches at all. We like to talk about watches.
We will, but we really want to have the channel driven by you, whatever you guys want to talk about. So come on in and steer the ship, as it were, because I always find that the chats point us into the most interesting directions and funniest too. So
Sure.
We had a podcast way back in the day, in the early noughties, that before people were doing podcasts, and it was in a Sheen's kitchen. And we sat around a table and we drank really bad wine because we were neophytes. We had no idea. Drinking Mulder Bosch and all this shite wine. It was before we got really
$10 Malbec.
Were we drinking Malbec?
I don't think there was Malbec in there.
I don't think we were ever that stupid.
No.
But there was a lot of very strong Cabernet though. It was like 16 and ugh. But anyway, we did that, and had we continued with that, I mean, it was really doing very well, and we kind of just abandoned it because life gets in the way. So it's kind of like, and it was called the iBashers. So it's
so now that's a channel, and that's my other channel, and that way we don't have to like get in the way of this one and all of that. So it's not going to happen tonight, but we'll migrate over on the next couple of live things, and you guys have to come over and subscribe over there and do all of that stuff over there.
We'll do a big premiere. We'll make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
That would be great. So join us and make the show your show. Bring your best game on. And not only that, if you're interesting enough, we'd love to have people on as special guests. We have a whole laundry list of people we'd like to get on. Some very smart people who we think are interesting, funny, charismatic.
Not just the watch crowd.
No.
We'll have the watch crowd on.
Yeah. People that we think are great, and that could be you. So, I mean, certainly Nathaniel, because we know him, and he's as interesting as they get.
He's a pretty smart guy.
He's a smart guy.
Kimbo, what was the last gig you both went to? The last gig we both went to together was Roger Waters' The Wall. No?
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Or was it Gabe? Was it Peter Gabriel?
No, it was Peter Gabriel.
It was Peter Gabriel on Long Beach?
Out in Jones Beach.
Jones Beach, excuse me.
That was later. Yeah, because, oh God. Because that was the 30th anniversary of So. That was more recent.
Yeah.
That was the last gig we both went to, yeah. What was the last gig you went to?
That I went to? It's probably one I played.
That doesn't count.
Oh, that doesn't count.
No, how gigs?
God.
Your own gig doesn't count.
Yeah, you're right.
That's work.
No, but it wasn't really work because it was a tribute to my band. There was a band here in Italy that are all big fans of Mr. North, and they played a tribute concert, and they asked me up to play a few songs.
Oh well,
that was okay. It was good. It was a fun night. I don't know.
The last gig I went to was Michael Schenker out on Long Island. I don't go to gigs very often, but I love. He's probably my favorite guitar player, rock guitar player. And I went to go see him, and it was very empty. It was in a big theater, and it was Mother's Day, and it was raining. And he's got some mental problems.
There's a sound I haven't heard in a long time. Is the police siren?
You hear it in my background?
Siren. Yeah, I could hear it. That's that just made me miss New York a little bit.
It's not as cool as the European.
Well, what I have here is the bells. I was in the middle of a chat today on the phone, and it was 3 p.m. I had the windows open. The bells started going. Ding, dong, 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 dong. Yeah, it sounds romantic on the other end of the phone, but it doesn't sound very nice to me. It's
trying to sleep, right?
Yeah,
that's funny. Good stuff. Yeah, that was.
I'm trying to think of the last gig I went to.
He had all his singers with him. He had every singer he ever had throughout his career. And It was a very interesting show. And then he opened up the show by bitching about his brother, who's the guy who created the Scorpions. Hello, my name is Michael Schenker, and I wrote Holiday and Rock You Like a Hurricane. All these songs that my brother stole from me. And it was a rant. And then before he even played a chord, and I remember being so gobsmacked by what the fuck? It was
I went to see Depeche Mode in Bologna.
Oh wow!
Like 3 years ago. Yeah, that was a great gig. And I texted Steve, who of course produced them. I was like, "Can you get me on the list? You got me on the band." Myself and the ex, we were on the band guest list. That was kind of cool.
That's right. Did you hang out with the guys?
Can I meet the band? No, that didn't happen.
Did you want to meet the band though? Do
I'd love to hang out with Dave Kahan. Oh my God, yeah. Oh yeah.
But I always feel like, would Dave Kahan want to hang out with me? That's the way I just look at it.
No, they wouldn't.
No,
they're probably so unimpressed by everything in life.
You know, he doesn't do heroin anymore, so it's like nothing is thrilling. He's like, I'm going back to the Ritz-Carlton to watch telly.
Yeah, they've been to the end of the rainbow. Those guys.
Yeah,
they've seen it all. That guy was dead, clinically, like technically dead in hospital for 2 minutes on an overdose, and came back to the living. Amazing. But it was a great show. It was amazing. They have a huge following here in Italy, and
they have a big following everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
They're
big
pretty
drama
global.
band. Sure. Big drama band, and their earlier hits, of course, I Just Can't Get Enough. They're kind of a little bit, you know, they were silly, like kind of like computer game music, but then they turned into, you know, they're just like big stadium rock. It's really dramatic stuff. It's great. Walking in My Shoes, my favorite.
I don't know.
Ever seen AC/DC live?
Me?
Yeah.
And, I'm not a big AC/DC fan. It's not my brand of rock, but I have seen them loads of times because bands I always like always open for them. So I've seen them probably 4 or 5 times. It's just not my kind of rock. I get it.
Tame Impala, Daft Punk. I know some of the members of Tame Impala. Fucking Camry stole Dree Hemingway off me one night at a party. She was hitting on me, and then he's 10 years younger, and Tame were very popular at the time.
I have never heard of them.
You've never heard of Tame Impala?
No. What is that?
They're Aussie band.
I don't know.
They're really cool. They're really cool. They're a really great band.
What do they sound like?
I mean, I don't know stylistically if you'd like them, but musically they're interesting. Let me put it that way. They're not your standard stock stuff.
I love some Australian.
Part of a wave of music that happened in 2014, 2015. I don't know how to describe them. You're just going to have to go listen to them. But I'm a big fan of Cam. His bass playing is really cool, and we drank a lot of booze. But he's a handsome little devil. And Dree, I mean, anything to do with Hemingway would work for me, and Dree is a beautiful girl. The problem was that whole party was thrown because my friend, who's an amazing, best-selling writer, author. He's had a couple of the bestseller books. I won't say his name. Threw the party because he was hoping to get with Dree, and Dree started hitting him. It was not cool. She's like, "Who the hell are you?" I was like, "You don't want to know. You don't want to know." Now, but we got talking, and then one of my exes showed up, and that threw a spanner in the works. It was an interesting evening for many reasons. But Cam was he was a shitload of fun, man, and off they went. So I was like, let those two beautiful people screw one another.
People,
why not?
Beautiful people. Is it one guy?
Great band.
Kevin Parker?
The Tame is, it's mainly the singer guy. He writes everything. In fact, that's the problem in the band. They all feel like there's a dictator.
It says members, Kevin Parker.
Yeah, well, Kevin is, maybe they've all left by now. I haven't been following them in the past couple of years. Certainly not through COVID or anything like that. Kind of amazing, interesting band.
Oh no! In the studio, he's the whole band. He hires people for the tour.
The band has changed a lot. Yeah, but Camry played on those more recent recordings. They just get dictated to by Kevin, and that's the way it is.
I guess. Well, that was a big trend in the noughties, where one guy would be Hosier or have a name of a band, but it was just one guy. That was a big thing for a while. Bright Eyes, remember that guy? And
right, Bright Eyes.
That shit was going on for a while. That was a big thing back in the day. I don't really know what that means. And what does this comment mean? Schenker plays a Flying V. That's all you need to know. Yuck. Flying V's are great.
Cool guitars.
They sound great. Yeah, AC/DC. Manowar of Steel. Have you ever heard of Manowar? Do you know who they are? I think that's a typo.
I know who Manowar are.
They're like the most funniest thing, but people take it very seriously. They wear loincloths and they oil their bodies, and they have songs like "All Men Play on 10." It's just machismo. And by the way, all of those guys are shorter than I am, and I'm 5'8". They're like tiny guys. It's a funny shit. But in Europe, they play stadiums. It's nuts.
Zippo 42 into Peter Gabriel. That was his last show. God, my favorite show maybe of all time was when he did Scratch My Back with the orchestra.
I missed it. Idiot. I know.
What a show.
I just remember hearing that our friend Leslie had to be taken out of there because she was so emotional.
She had to be brought home. She was, everyone was very emotional. Yeah, it was a really touching evening. Smashing Pumpkins. I have a Smashing Pumpkins story. I nearly played with them. I was mixing a record in James E. Haas studio on the west side, 26th and 11th. Stratosphere. Yeah. And I got to know them all there, and whatever. I was pretty cool looking at the time, skinny fucker, and playing my Rickenbacker and wearing black leather pants and stuff. Their bass player went missing. They couldn't find her. She was on a bender in a hotel room.
Darcy.
No, not the original, the one that replaced her.
Melissa Oftimer.
Yeah. She
from Hole.
She went nuts, and they couldn't find her. And I got the call, "Can you learn 5 songs by tomorrow?" I was like, "For Smashing Pumpkins? Hell yeah, I can." I learned them. But then I got the call in the morning, like, "We found her." They found her in a hotel. I was
she's
like,
not
"Dang,
dead."
I nearly played with Smashing Pumpkins. Damn it. Yeah, she's not dead.
Yeah, we found her, and you went, "Dead?"
Oh, man. It was a moment.
Damn it.
It's a great band, though. I love USA. I love that song. Or United States. What a great song. Oh, damn. That's a good song. That's a dark one. That's a post, 9/11 song. It's cool shit, man.
I only know their big hits because I don't own any of their records.
Oh, yeah.
I just know I like Bullet with Butterfly Wings. That's a cool song.
Right. 1975, 1979 and stuff like that.
Yeah. I guess that. Yeah. He's a very talented guy. He's a funny looking book.
He has a big badass guitar sound as well. There you go. 1979, man.
Right. Does he have a good guitar sound?
I mean, if you like heavy distortion, of course, yeah. Big and oh my god. Amps. All of that.
I mean, James
drummer in
Iha
that
is
band is incredible.
He's Jimmy Chamberlain is a great
Chamberlain.
drummer.
That's his, yeah.
And that guy, Wendy and Lisa, Wendy's brother was the keyboard player in that band, and he overdosed with Jimmy Chamberlain in a hotel room, and then they fired Jimmy Chamberlain because Jimmy Chamberlain turned him on to heroin. But then somehow he cleaned himself up and he's back in the band. But Wendy Melvoin and Wendy Melvoin's dad, Michael Melvoin, played on all the Monkees records, the Partridge Family records, all the big pop records of the 60s and 70s. Wendy and Lisa from the Prince group.
Wow.
So they come from tremendous rock
from the Power Generation.
Yeah.
Or the new generation. What is it? Power Generation.
The Revolution.
Prince and the Revolution. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the real
Prince
one.
and the Revolution, the real one. Yeah.
Wendy
Looks
and
like
Lisa.
the other side got it. Thank you.
Yep.
Brain fart there. We're coming to the end, guys. I'm gonna keep it kind of around 2 hours. Yes, I was an Ampeg SVT guy, Eric B. Yes, I had the 8x10, the classic with the SVT head.
Nothing sounds better. Nothing.
We didn't talk about what's going on much. I mean, what is there to say? Why attack a nuclear plant? Surely that's bad for everyone. I don't know. That's the big fear right now.
I have not been able to turn off. I actually bought Sling TV just so I could get certain news channels that I don't have.
Like which?
Like BBC and I mean, I got rid of cable, so the only kind of news I get is the internet. So I wanted to get all of them: CNN, BBC, Sky, Al Jazeera. I wanted them.
That way you can absorb it all. Yeah,
I want to go.
Great. That's a great idea. Great idea. But I mean, it's been building in tension. It started out as, oh, here we go again, the usual threat, and now it's turning into, hold on, there's people like blocking a nuclear power plant. We're looking at a new Fukushima if this guy drops a bomb. Sure. Why would he do that? First of all, if he wants the land, does he want to, pollute it all with, plutonium 242 and strontium for the next, 60,000 years? Like, why would, I don't know what the logic would be there, but maybe he's not working on logic. Anyway, it's getting more and more distressing. Somebody said on Facebook there, I saw today that last night I turned off the news and put on a serial killer documentary just to relax.
Yeah, exactly
things are getting so bad. It's looking really, really bad. I don't mean to make light of it, but
no. I mean, listen, we could all talk about I
should put on some other watches here.
I've seen so many comments by people that I just do not for the life of me understand. I also don't understand people talking about their price of gas when people are being slaughtered. I mean, suck it up, motherfucker. That's the way the world works. We get our horrible fossil fuels from all these countries. I mean, talking about gas, fuck. Who cares about gas? People are dead. And
I know you remind me of the old Bill Hicks sketch where he's talking about why people vote based on taxes and gas prices.
It's incredible.
He's like, I'm sorry. I think that candidate is the son of Satan. I don't mind paying an extra 10 cents a gallon so little brown kids around the world aren't clobbered to death like baby seals. That whole scene that Bill Hicks does. It's like when you're voting based on gas prices, there's something wrong with you.
I mean, I had this conversation the other day. Can you believe the price at the pump? I'm like, can you believe that mother and her children got the shit blown out of them while she was making them breakfast?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter because I want my gas prices lower.
Yeah, I don't know. To me,
we're in the Corona. Crazy. What do you think of that? Sorry there's no good segue from horrible.
You're in the Tudor, right?
The Tudor Corona.
Isn't
that
it's
nice?
Beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah.
Paddy McNamara, Grace Jones for a performance. Remember? Yeah, I saw her in Dublin. like 4 years ago. Saw her in at Trinity College, that big venue at the back.
I mean, she's one of a kind.
She didn't do Le Vie en Rose though.
Good for her. She didn't want to. That the age-old set list. We talk about that all the time. Should you play the hits or shouldn't you? She said, "Fuck it."
Well, she can say that whenever she wants.
Right. Grace Jones she's a one-off completely.
Anyway, look, bad news. I mean, it's rough. I hope. Oh, shit. I hope they have Chernobyl. They took over. They control Chernobyl right now.
They're on the third one right now.
What do you mean the third one?
They took the one in the south. Now there's one. Forgive me, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head. There's a third nuclear power plant right smack in the middle of Ukraine that they just got control of, and they also shot it up. And there's a fire there now too. Currently.
I was just thinking, like, why do they want to, like, with the Ukrainians saying, "Oh, really? You want to take that? Really? Okay, go ahead and take it." The biggest disaster in the history. Troy McMahon was at Trinity in Dublin. He was at the Grace Jones show. Actually, she did play the Vie en Rose. She didn't play Strange. I've seen that face before. You know,
oh yeah.
She didn't play that one, which is my favorite. She did play La Vie en Rose.
I take it back.
Yeah. Ukrainian Russian forces secure Chernobyl together. But wasn't it the French and the Americans who put that big seal on it? Because no one was sealing it correctly. And there's all sorts of radioactive isotopes still sitting in there. There's the elephant's foot, I think it's called. It's a big foot shape. It looks like an elephant's foot or something. And it's just a big mold of radioactive sludge that's just waiting to just burn its way through the Earth's core. Like, I think other countries had to move in and spend the money and put that big seal. It looks like a airport's hangar closed. Big monstrous thing just to close the thing up.
Well, because listen, this is
I'd happily give up Chernobyl. That's what I was thinking, Nathaniel. It's like, what? You want to take that? Okay, go ahead.
Well, now they've got
you want that quagmire in your
They're gonna have two more on their hands with the way these bozos are. What kind of? I'm always amazed that this is a completely ridiculously propped up propaganda war that makes no sense. Yet there's still guys out there willing to get in their tanks and blow up apartment buildings.
Yeah, that was a shot.
How did that happen?
I don't know. When I saw that happen, I thought, well, that's probably not calculated. That's just some asshole who was like, you know what? I'm going to shoot this turret that I've been sitting behind for a long time, and I never got to shoot it. And I hate these Ukrainians, so I'm going to shoot that building. Or at least, I mean, I have zero info behind that. I just guessed it because I thought it doesn't look very calculated. This is not Israel hitting that building in Gaza and the whole thing comes down and it's got the entire TV network in it and everything. Like, this is extremely calculated stuff. Yeah. It's a different thing. No? Or at least that's what it looked like to me. There's just a gaping hole in the side of a building. Some asshole in his tank just went, I'm going to just shoot that.
It's worse now. There are entire towns that they're gone. They just burnt the shit, and they're using whatchamacallit, cluster bombs.
Cluster bombs, yeah.
Yep. Wow. Yeah. So that's not a tactical weapon. That is a thing that was designed to kill people.
Yeah. Originally it was supposed to be like no civilians will be hurt, but that turns out to not be true.
I think all politicians are liars, but one thing that I don't want to get into a whole Russian thing right now, but the track record's not so good, man. There's not a lot of whole honesty coming out. I know there's a lot of great Russian people, but I watched that whole documentary on how they cheated, how they've always cheated in the Olympic Games, and there's the proof. But he just says it's not true. It's not true. There's the proof. There's no such thing. It's like Trump and all those people and anybody else.
Just keep repeating
Hillary Clinton. It's not true. That's not true. No, they just keep repeating it, so it's true.
Yeah.
So now you got Vladimir Putin, who had planned to do this. I don't know what his end game is. Like, what is he trying to accomplish here? And also, because they're not a NATO member nation, we can't, do a no-fly zone.
He wants NATO off his doorstep. He's been clear about that. He
Right,
wants
so-
it. He doesn't want because once NATO are in Ukraine, then to him in his mind, and he's not completely wrong. Okay, I'm not defending the guy, but he's not wrong. American missiles are on his doorstep. That's the way he sees it. And
Right.
he's said, like, can you imagine I went to Mexico or Canada and set up Russian missiles along the US coast? Can you imagine how much they'd freak out? There is a little bit of a case of like double standards. Yeah, you want to put NATO missiles along my border? And don't ever mistake, like, the Americans are so smart with this. They move in and they strategically, you think they invade some country because they want to liberate the people. No, they're looking at a strategic position on the map and they're like, yeah, we want to put bases there. Of course they do. That was their clever way of world domination. Hitler was stupid. He's like, I want to kill everyone while I'm at it.
Right.
The Americans never did that. They went, no, we won't kill it. We'll kill anyone who gets in our way. There's no doubt about that. Not for a single second would they flinch. But if they don't have to kill anyone, they'll put a base. You know,
NATO was designed
for Diego
one reason.
Garcia and Israel and all these different positions. They just, and that way they can get to anywhere. Look at Aviano here in Italy. All the the attack aircraft launch out of here. They don't have to fly across the Atlantic Ocean. They already have them here. They have more nuclear missiles here in North Italy. You know, if they need a strike, they can strike them from here. They don't have to cross the Atlantic. It's all about strategic positioning. So you think they don't want missiles right there in Ukraine if shit hits the fan? Of course they do. You think Putin isn't aware of that? Of course he is. So I'm not defending the guy. I wish he didn't do what he does or is doing, but he's in a world of gangsters. You think the other side aren't gangster? Everyone's a fucking gangster in this.
They're really gangsters, though. It's a gangster mob of folks.
Sure.
I mean, it's the Soviet Union. I just found out. I didn't know that they can't watch regular TV. That 100% of their television is state sponsored. What's the difference between that and the USSR? Nothing.
Nothing. No.
So these people are not seeing any of the atrocities and the thermo. What is the term of that missile? Sorry, somebody just had it on here, and I wanted to read it. Thermostatic bomb. You know what? Did you know what that does? Right? It shoots out a gas. And the gas permeates the area, and then they blow it up.
Wow.
So they send a spark in there, and it just sucks all the oxygen and just dehydrates everything. It just completely sucks all the moisture, and it's the sickest thing I've ever heard of.
Nothing like bomb invention, huh?
Bomb invention. So, like, who are the psychopaths that invent this shit? Yeah. But here's a good question. Vladimir Putin, we're being defensive, not offensive in our help towards them. But if we step over the line, is he gonna use nuclear weapons?
I think he's capable of anything. I mean, look, step back for a second. They haven't used nuclear weapons. There's only one country in the world that has used them. They used them twice. If you were from Mars, if you're a Martian, you landed down, you heard about nuclear threat. The first question you'd ask is, has anyone done it before?
Sure.
And you'd be like, yeah, actually someone did do it. Someone did eviscerate 250,000 people in a split second.
Yeah.
And they're actually kind of proud of it. And yeah, you're not proud of it, but I've met Americans who are.
Well, then they also kind of tried to take the Capitol. So maybe that's it.
Oh, no, I've met smarter Americans than that bunch. I've met way smarter Americans than those
nuclear
who are very proud of it and they defend it. Oh, it ended the war early. I'm like, yeah, of course it is. And no one else will fucking fight. You just evaporated. It still doesn't go down as a good check mark on your history here, but somehow they've managed to compartmentalize that whole thing into making sense. He hasn't done it, nowhere else has done it yet.
Yeah.
So would he do it? You have to look at it from his perspective, or you should maybe consider it for a moment. He thinks there's a bigger threat in the world. than him. And he's preparing for that. I'm just getting in the mindset of the enemy. That's all I'm doing. I'm not defending him. And uniting Ukraine gives him more. There are other things. There's the agriculture. There's opening the dams for Crimea that were closed after he annexed Crimea. There are so many other, these guys don't make a big decision like this for just one reason. They do it for a multitude of reasons. He's strategic. It's a shame. It's old imperialist mentality, but it's, he's got his reasons, and he sits there in front of his people and he tells them. And honestly, if I thought America were the enemy, which he clearly does, or one of the enemies, I wouldn't want the fucking missiles on my doorstep either. So, it's a big mess. The nuclear missiles were given back from Ukraine
they gave them back.
They gave them back.
They did.
So had they kept a few, they'd have a few bargaining chips, but they didn't, which is sad. Incredible? Yeah, they could have said, "Well, fuck you," we're going to launch.
Maybe they kept one or two of them.
Maybe.
Somebody said in the chats that Zelensky might have fled to Poland. I doubt it.
No, he doesn't seem like that kind of character.
No. But the president of Brazil said that Ukraine deserves it for voting in a comedian. I think somebody should go tell that third world shitbag to go fuck himself.
Yeah.
I mean, holy fuck. Why don't you feed your people? You're incredible. Rich, right. The mess they have over there. Fuck you, moron. This guy, I haven't seen a leader show this kind of strength, moxie, and resolve. This he's a hero, and he's a Jew.
He's Jewish, and his family, a lot of his family died in the
Holocaust. Yeah,
he's one of the surviving parts of the family, and he. Yeah, he's resilient, and I posted a quote of his on Instagram the other day. Don't hang pictures of me. Like people hang pictures of the fucking president, and don't hang pictures. Right. A president is not an icon. He said, hang pictures of your family and your children and so on, and think about that. Look at those pictures when you're about to make an important decision. Don't idolize me as a leader. That's a leader I like. I mean, I don't know him that well, but that's cool. I don't like when they idolize a leader like that.
It's horrible. Why would anybody
get all teary-eyed when they meet their president? Well, this is a guy he's got a job. You just voted him in.
I met
idolizing.
I met Obama in the Gap. Remember that?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I met Barack Obama in a Gap because I was in the store. And you know what? It was very cool.
Yeah,
he
sure.
Was very chill. He was very tall. I was very surprised. Yeah. And we talked about baseball, which is a subject I can talk about. But I was like, okay. I've met a lot of famous people. I just don't understand that whole kind of, he's my leader.
Hey, it's cool to kind of say, wow, this was the most powerful man in the world. Wow.
Yeah.
But he was very chill. Putting big pictures like shrines, like they do in North Korea, our leader.
Well, that's for dictators.
Our sacred leader, yeah.
Ayatollahs
can do no wrong.
Right.
As hell yeah, it can do wrong. They're flawed people like everyone else. Wake them up.
Yeah.
One of the truest things that Donald Trump ever said was I can stand in Fifth Avenue and shoot someone and I'll still win.
Right.
He's fucking right. I mean, he didn't shoot anybody, but it was just short of that. It's like that's how much gravitas. He was right.
Hey, Troy. Yeah, that's she's 12. That's Laverne, and she just turned 12. So send us pictures of your cat, Troy McMahon. Do it. Yeah, she came and she was sleeping throughout the whole chat, and she obviously wants snacks, so I always keep them in my pocket. So she came up on my desk for it. But listen, anybody who gets their information from like conspiracy theory news channels and all that kind of shit. What is that?
That's here.
Oh shit, that scared the crap.
That's Lydia coming in.
Oh jeez, I was like, what is that? Somebody breaking
into my house? Somebody was creeping in your house.
Into my house.
You just heard it on the headphones.
Yeah.
Hey.
I mean, all the crap that they spew on those propaganda channels. I mean, you might as well live in the Soviet Union and get force-fed crap. Do yourself a favor for news. Get it from multiple angles and then do the math yourself.
That's a brilliant idea.
Grandiose statements about this guy's corrupt or this guy, when there's absolutely no proof, plan, or any of that shit. Please, God. Enough.
I got this question. It's, excuse me. Sorry, this one. Is it a Rolex? No, this is a Tudor Heritage.
That's nice. It looks like a sub, man.
It looks like a sub on me, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Big watch, but, you know.
You're a big
good watch. Solid watch. Good watch, yeah.
Get your news from Hodinky. A lot of us do. I saw Bark and Jack had a little. Did you see his little video that he made?
Listen, one guys. about being tone deaf and being afraid to appear tone deaf, talking about watches when there are more important things happening in the world. Yeah, it's a good statement.
I thought that was nice.
I myself and Adrian have, from what I gather, we have similar political positioning. From what I gather, I've just noticed a few little things. I'm like, yeah, I'm probably on the same page as him. Yeah, it was good. He made a very good point. Like, it felt a little, as he said, tone deaf, maybe making a watch video. Then again, it is a watch channel, and perhaps you come over here just to escape and just talk about something else, you know, and that's a very good point. You know, I have this outlet here. I just made a comedy video last week, you know, about Watchfinder and so on. You know, just not addressing, and I'm working on another wartime Zero West video at the moment, which is very exciting, very, very good one. Maybe that will resonate with people, but it's, you know, it just happens to be happening now. Whereas I have here with you, and I can talk about these things, you know. Maybe I'll have Adrian on one of these days when he can vent his feelings about the thing specifically. Thanks,
he doesn't
Lyndon.
feel comfortable, and it makes sense. Listen, people don't go to Bark and Jack to hear about what's happening in Ukraine or wherever else there's news being made. So I thought that was a very heartfelt statement, and don't feel bad, Adrian. You provide people a lot of pleasure, and people love watching your videos. So thank you for your service, man. It's a different kind of service. It's okay.
It's true.
No apologies necessary.
Yeah.
For this,
all right, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You just sent us $20 for no reason.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lyndon McLeod. From the Clan McLeod. I'm Lyndon McLeod from the Clan McLeod.
There can be only one. I missed if people got I did a quote like 2 hours ago and I didn't even look out for it.
What quote was it?
I can't remember now. It's gone.
What movie was it?
I can't even remember. I was saying something in context, and it was a phrase that it was used in a movie, and I can't even remember what it was. I'll do film quotes randomly. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Hey, Chris Rizzo, the only way to become wealthy as a politician is because you're corrupt? No, you write a book. And they all make a lot of money off of the book. You know? I know somebody who says that the Clintons aren't really the Clintons and the Obamas aren't the Obamas. They were put in there by the CIA, and that they're fake people. And that
I'd love if the world were that advanced and interesting.
Isn't it great?
Unfortunately, it's way more boring.
Robots.
Ticking time. Thank you, man. It was Die Hard. I was like sitting on the beach earning 20%. Thank you, ticking time. You have a better memory than I have. Apparently, Henry Cavill was cast for the next Highlander.
Is that right? But isn't he going to get the James Bond gig?
Is he getting that? Everybody thinks everybody's getting it.
Shouldn't he get it though?
I don't know. He looks good, but I don't find his acting to be compelling. I think he looks great and all of that.
Very beautiful man.
Sure, but there's lots of beautiful men all over the world.
He's especially beautiful.
That carries a very low currency in my.
He's a great Superman. I mean, that he looks like Superman. Did you like?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I just the whole thing kind of.
It
breezes off me like a light breeze. I kind of go, yeah, he looks great. That's cool, but he's not compelling and doesn't reach me in any way in his acting skills.
What about MI7? He was great in that.
again, unremarkable. Just the right chiseled jaw and the right look in his eyes a little bit, and that's that.
Who would you cast as Bond? Who would you like as Bond?
I didn't mind the Idris Elba idea. I think he's more compelling, more intense looking actor. Or not looking, but a more intense actor.
It's a great actor.
Who else? Someone else up. I can't think now.
Speaking of Highlander, now, do you remember the series with Adrian Paul?
Was it any good? I never watched it.
It was not good, but that guy should have been James Bond because he looks exactly like Sean Connery and he can fucking act.
Okay.
It was a shitty show.
Oh, Tom Hardy. This was the other guy was up.
No,
Tom Hardy, I wouldn't mind as James Bond.
Tom Hardy looks like he just had one too many fisticuffs in the alley.
Everyone thought Daniel Craig didn't look like James Bond, but it upped the ante and it turned from a slender gentleman into a buff, rough, kind of dark character. I think Tom Hardy could be the continuation of that. Henry Cavill is water in comparison to Tom Hardy as an actor. Only as an actor. Tom Hardy doesn't have the chiseled jaw, but again,
Tom Hardy looks like a boxer.
Great. And so they continue then, because in many
Tom
ways,
Hiddleston is too Faye. Sorry, kids. Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston is, that's going back to Faye again. That's a slender gentleman with
Roger Moore. Dainty,
dainty.
No.
I think we're headed in the other direction.
We have to be, because we just had like the most lethal bruiser ever, the blunt instrument that Ian Fleming had described. We got him.
Right.
So we can't go.
Don't you think Tom Hardy would be continuing that? He's butch. He's big. He's dark.
I think he's too East End, too rough and tumble. I don't see it, but I like him. I like him a lot, but I don't see it.
Gerard Butler. I don't know.
I'm not saying the Clintons aren't corrupt. I said somebody said that the Clintons were not the Clintons. Somebody said that they were robots.
You just said anything about them, and therefore there's a lot of people who just they're programmed. They're like robots, and they just woke up and went, "Oh, the Clintons are corrupt."
I didn't vote for her, so don't worry about it. Jared Butler irks me. I don't know what it is. He's like almost got it, but I don't get it. Like, he tried all those romantic comedy films, and he's another guy that looks like he's been in too many bar fights.
There's a good one. That'll be drunk James Bond.
All James Bonds are drunk.
Shaken not stirred. I don't care. Just give me the bloody booze.
That's a great line in it's in Quantum of Solace. He goes, shaken or stirred. He goes, what did he say? Do I look like I give a damn?
Yes, that's cool. Okay, that line is already used. Then damn it,
it was good.
That's the only reason I would ever do it.
Ricky Gervais, as long as he doesn't go with his terrible laugh. Putin.
Okay, so let's end it in less than 7 minutes.
Okay. Liam Gallagher, right? Because he could do this, right? Shaken, not stirred. I saw him on TV last night. He had a new song. It was shite.
Shocker.
Yeah, I know.
Casino Royale, yes, love that film.
Casino
was pretty good, but Casino Royale was great.
I liked it. I the only one I don't like is the one that sold the most. I don't enjoy Skyfall. I think it's a Batman ripoff movie. I think it's a Home Alone ripoff movie. I think Sam Mendes was out of his element. I think it looked like shit.
Oh, yeah, it's just water. Yeah. That's Lydia, by the way, the silent half of Timeless Watch Channel.
Hi, guys.
They probably all miss you. They're all convinced that the best Timeless Watch Channel stuff is because of her.
True. All by yourself.
Here, stick your face into the.
Hey,
there's a pretty face finally.
Hi, Dirk.
Hi, hon. How are you? Your hair's so red. Is your hair red?
Yeah. She can't hear it. There you go. I gave her the wrong headphone.
Hey, Lydia. Your hair's red?
My hair is red.
It looks good. So's mine.
Do you like it?
Mine's red too.
Do I look more Irish?
It looks.
No.
You look like a lovely girl from the
Thank
west.
you very much.
Right. Have you not met her? She's an Irish rose. She is.
Thank you very much.
I love the color. It looks great. Looks great. You look super pretty.
Thank you very much.
She was out with her friends tonight in Venice.
Where did you go?
I went to Schiavi
Oh,
and I went to Agli Artisti and Baccarò, which is all in like Santa Margherita,
Okay.
where all the young people go.
This guy says you sound more Irish than me. You do when you speak English, but not when you speak Italian.
Right. She's got an Irish accent when she speaks English. So what's the name of that place in Rialto that we went that night? We drank champagne. Is the kids still going there?
Is it close to my place?
No, in Rialto by the fountain and all those bars there in Rialto Mercato praticamente. Sai quei bar lì dove siamo incontrati con Deborah tutti?
Ah, vabbè, il campetto lì.
Il campetto, sì, quello vecchio.
It's just, Rialto. Everyone calls it Rialto.
Does she speak Italian too? Parla italiano?
Parla italiano.
Ogni tanto, dai.
Sono cresciuta qua, sti cazzi.
Sti cazzi. Here, what's next on the Fragments project?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Yeah, where's the Fragments?
Now she sounds like her dad. Don't ask me. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
Get on that.
Know.
People are waiting.
I know.
Set a premiere date and then just meet it. Set a premiere date.
I know. You're right.
Do that.
I will.
I don't like Oasis. I don't care about them. Not my cup.
I prefer Blur.
Me too.
There you go.
Prefer Blur. Yeah.
Blur.
Now you're talking. I love Blur. I'm late to the party, but I love Blur.
I love Blur.
What's that other band that I really like that you just turned me on to recently? What's that other band that was big at the time?
Back then?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't know. Who did I turn you on to? It's very hard to turn you on to bands.
You did, though. Because I don't like anything. I don't know. She can stay, you two can go. That's right.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot nicer looking at her than looking at the two of us. Suede?
Yeah, Suede. I liked them. It was good.
They're called the London Suede in America.
But out of all those bands, I like Pulp the best.
Oh, Pulp. Yes.
Jarvis Cocker.
I'm still a Blur fan. I'm sorry.
I like Blur too, but I just think he's so cunty. He's got he does not give a fuck.
Who? The guy in Pulp?
Jarvis Cocker.
Oh. The common people.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. Look at that one. Dirk seems very picky about bands and music.
Yeah.
Hey, are we picky about our watches? We're pickier about our music.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have your watch on? Somebody spotted their watch today.
There you go. I don't know if you can see it though.
Oh yeah, there it is. Gorgeous.
Cartier. Yeah. Was it your boss who spotted the watch?
Yeah.
He's like, Jesus, look at that.
Wow.
Anyway, guys, I think we're wrapping it up.
Okay, kids.
And do you want to wrap up the show?
I don't know how to do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it technically, and you can sit here. Here's the other headphone.
Okay.
You just say,
Jesus.
That wraps it up for this week. The premiere of.
I'm here. Hi.
Doesn't that look so much nicer?
Oh yeah. Watch the count. The count's gonna go way up now.
Yeah.
So you could just tell everybody that the Timeless Watch channel / iBashers premiere is next week.
Okay.
That's what we're doing. So we'll let you guys all know. And then we urge you to come over to that channel where we can talk about not just watches, but everything else in the world.
Yeah. So see you next week. iBashers.
Yep.
Talking about watches and stuff. I'm not going to be there. So
you can come in though. We're going to talk about politics and music and food and liquor and wine and fashion.
I'll be there for everything else except watches. So
we'll do it. No. That's why we're starting the Eye Bashers channel, because it's going to be
you are?
Yeah,
Okay.
next week. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
So see you next week.
See you next week.
Everyone, we'll see you next week.
We will.
Have fun, guys. Have a nice
everybody.
evening, day, morning, whatever you have.
I'll just say,
have a good one.
See you soon in Italian. Ci vediamo.
Ci vediamo
Ciao.
presto. Baci.
Buonanotte.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Buonanotte.